To a pretty positive afternoon. Good to see as we head toward what will be exactly this time tomorrow afternoon. Make sure you're with us on Wednesday when we get that Fed decision. Obviously going to be a quarter point. It's going to be more about what happens after that at 2:30 when we get the press conference with Fed Chair Powell. What is he going to say as far as what they plan going forward? Will they start to slow as far as increases are concerned? Most people still talking about 25 tomorrow, and then 25 again coming up in March before we get a pause. Here's how things are looking right now as far as the markets are concerned. 0.9 for the S&P, 0.6 for the Dow, 1 and change now. For the NASDAQ, leading the way, it was relatively strong right out of the gate this morning, and it's been tech that's been leading back to the upside all day long. Look at this, though. It's been a couple days anyway since we've had every single thing on this board in positive territory, including Bitcoin down there, 1.9 now, 2.5. Nice move for Ethereum back to the upside. Now a full percent for crude oil, 1.1 in fact, after chopping around a little bit throughout the midday session. But positive, nevertheless, as we get that note on higher demand to come throughout the U.S. market for oil. Here we go. That's the board right now for the S&P 500. It's the industrial group right now actually leading the way as far as influential movers to the upside. AOS, an earnings name, 11% today. There's Caterpillar still lagging a little bit, 3% downside coming off their report from this morning. Tough to see, but way down there, that's McDonald's, 1.7. Also pointing towards inflationary pressures and possibility of recession hurting their forecast a little bit. GM, meanwhile, no sign of bad things at GM, 7.75% in positive territory. Micron's been a laggard in the semiconductor group here all day long, still 3% in negative territory when basically the rest of them are positive on the day. We're going to talk about semis coming up here with AMD on deck. IP having a great day in the materials group, up 10% off earnings. PSX, another one, 6% downside. Nice positive board, though. Good to see, as I mentioned, heading towards the Fed tomorrow. Hope your afternoon's going well. Welcome back in. Let's get going. Lots to discuss once again this afternoon. If you're with us in the first hour this morning, make sure you come check us out 8:30 Eastern every single day. We get you set and ready for the open at 9:30. There's a ton to look at today, from Tesla right through all of the big mega cap earnings, including McDonald's. We'll touch on a little bit here. Sean's going to lead the way this afternoon, though, with a look at one of his trades from this morning.
Yo, what's up, traders? Yeah, it's Sean here from Trader TV Live, and make sure you click on that QR code below to join Day Trade the World, the best prop firm in the world. Okay, we'll make this real short and sweet for you. Look, it's AMD. Why is it AMD? AMD's in play today. The chips are moving around. We have earnings, and AMD is tomorrow. So we wanted to trade this name. And look, it's going to be a pretty simple trade. It's sort of a one-hit wonder all the way to the upside. And yeah, AMD's up 3% today. We don't have any on, as it's here at the high of the day. Our last out is right up here, and we're going to talk about that real quick. But look, one thing I wanted to show you, we missed that first move, but look at the NASDAQ here, up only 1.07% right now. So still a great day for the NASDAQ. We weren't certain if it was going to be an up or down day. So let's go now over to AMD. AMD up 3x the market. So that's pretty key right there. We love to trade names that are relatively strong. But we only have a 1 minute chart on here. Simple trade, as I told you. Look, we missed, so here it is in the pre-market, kind of just chilling out, basically around flat for the day, all right? Now, I marked this down, that 72.50. That would have been, that is yesterday's close. When we start down here, that could have been the break long, but I'm done taking it, and we could have used Meta as well. That actually break worked out, but I'm done taking pre-market breaks. Why? Because it's so violent early, right? You get up and down moves. You could be right, like in NVIDIA, I was completely right, but too much of a movement off the open. We stick with AMD. Now look, we don't get in till about 10 o'clock. So what do? We let it rip all the way up. All right, perfect. Check mark. Stronger than the market, going northbound. That's what we thought it would do. So when it falls back in, we just start buying 72.75. And we're going against this 72.50. Why 72.50? That's the level that we're thinking can hold. Not only is it the pre-market high, but it's also yesterday's close. So let's make this as simple as can be, right? This trade is almost as key as Mr. Glock himself. All the way back up to the upside. Buying 72.50, 72.60. Then it just lifts all the way back up to the upside. Getting some out here, 72.80, 73. Our next out there, 73.50. But watch what happens. boom, it lifts to the upside here. Upside. Then this up here is 74.50. Bouncing around a couple times, and then we said, okay, what if this market falls back down here? We were actually right. Let's get out. So we get out there at 74.40, wondering if this 74.50 is the top. Now it looks like a pretty key level. We might actually use this to bounce off and go long, but that's where we got out of our last 10%. It might have been 20%, I'm not sure, but we had a real big trade here. We got it so much, we got 4 times there. In, reloaded, and then back up to the upside. So it's a pretty simple trade. It had volume, it had the move we want, and it pulled right back into support. That's the trade that I'm looking for, and it's your trade of the day.
Great move for some of the chips as well, along with AMD today. Back to the upside ahead of earnings to come for AMD. That's the link to the watch list, guys. Make sure you grab that every single day. If we could go, Bradley, to my screen, that'd be great. SI making a big move right now. BlackRock in a filing, reporting a 7.2% stake in Silvergate Capital. That just coming across. So BLK into SI. For as much as 7.2%. Also happening right now, not much of a move on that, but Boeing, apparently the CEO on Bloomberg TV currently. So a heads up on BA as well. Let's talk a little bit about what we were discussing this morning if you were with us in the pre-market. We started things off with Tesla today. And what a move back to the upside as far as Tesla is concerned. Coming off this note, Elon comes out after market. It was actually later on in the evening anyways, and says they're going to increase their cost or spending over the next couple of years in line with what everyone else is doing, essentially going from, I think it was 5 to 6 billion up to 7 to 8 billion or 8 to 9 billion, something along those lines. It wasn't a huge increase, but once again, we see the stock kind of shrug off any kind of questionable news for Tesla and goes back to the upside here, guys. Nice move for Tesla, 3.25%.
Yes, I mean, Tesla's strong, but it's up 3%. Rivian, which I'm short at the high of the day, that's up like a little bit more, 7% to the upside on Rivian. I think it was XPeng that was up 8% today. GM, we'll get to them. They had the earnings. That's having a strong day. I didn't find my way into Tesla this morning, and quite frankly, I'm not that disappointed. I liked GM for the setup a little bit better in terms of actually making the trade, and then the same thing with being patient for Rivian. But this market if this market takes out the top, I mean, it's been trying to for a while now. The NASDAQ is only going right here. Tesla could be a late day runner right through 174. So there's 174 yesterday. There's 174 right here. But that BlackRock news with Silvergate, I don't want to necessarily gloss over this. I was just trying to buy the dip off of the morning top. Yeah, it didn't quite get the fills there. But the morning high was like 1380 something. I was trying to buy the dip in there after it got back through 14 even. This is a highly depressed name that is a huge short interest that, quite frankly, if BlackRock puts it in there. You've seen these squeeze names go, and I'm going to double check the short interest in a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it's still north of 40% on Silvergate, and we've seen a lot of these happen. Maybe I'll buy the dip if it's 14, but every single time it pumps up, if it's still beneath 15 bucks, I'm going to try and get the next dip.
What did you say you thought it was?
It's north of 40%.
Yeah. Well, Trade Ideas, come over to my screen here. They have 70%.
No.
So I don't know if that is accurate or not. We can check it on Float Checker right there. But sorry, there it is right there. 70% looking like that on SI Gate. So yeah, wow, what a move there. And that's why you never know what you're going to be trading. By the way, look at Apple right here. 70%. Bunch of shorts until eventually we punched out of it. We just absolutely tuned this one on the short. Look at all these shorts and look at all these outs until eventually it breaks and we get out. Now we're long and in the money now, 7 cents. Let's see if this wants to keep going here to the long side. But yeah, what do you have for Float Checker?
Float Checker has 63 to 77, so 70%. I thought it was 40. It's 70. Well, it should have been more aggressive on those longs. This is probably...
I'm going to go into it.
It's probably going to squeeze. What do we think? I mean, 70%. BlackRock thinking it's going to be a buy. The stock was 100 and... whatever, I mean, 170.
Why did BlackRock buy it? Do we know? What
they took a 7% stake. I didn't see what the reasoning behind it is, but maybe they just see an opportunity for a bit of a capitulation bottom and a squeeze to the upside. I just grabbed 14s, and by 14s, I mean 14 11s. to the long side. I'm just going to go long in front of 1375, and we'll see. Like, obviously, it just made a huge wick top, and the first push down was better because it gave you 1380s to 1450s already once. So I'm now in Silvergate. This is a stock that I've basically only been looking short for a few weeks now, and sometimes you get catalysts like this, and you see if it can make a secondary push, but I want to scalp some 2 set high of the day.
I was just refreshing myself on what a 13G is, guys, and it's, I can read you the definition. It's due within 45 calendar days of when there's a significant ownership change in a equity. So that's just coming through from the SEC on a filing for BlackRock there. So we'll talk a little bit about SI, I'm sure, coming up over the afternoon. Spotify, on the other hand, still, as you were seeing with Sharif there, spending some time on that throughout the midday if you were with us. Quite a day, guys, for Spotify on a really good report. Right across the board, numbers beat, forecast looks good for SPOT.
Spotify. Yeah, not bad. People like Spotify. I like Spotify. I don't have Spotify. I used to be a Spotify member, of course, and I bought Spotify in the direct list as well. I think it's below where that is actually right now. We are out of that name, and I was saying that Luca was mentioning that, you know, when he was a member, became a member of Spotify, it was down to $70. And he mentioned if he just bought the stock, like, you would have had a lifetime free membership, you know, because you just get out now. That's not bad. That's actually how I used to invest. When I was like a Rogers customer, I just bought Rogers stock and made them pay for my bill all the time. My wife wants to go to Starbucks, I'm buying Starbucks. So, you know, if it goes up 1% in the day, free latte. You know, that's the way. Yeah, it's not a great way to look at things, but
triple mocha, something.
Just quickly here, I am into Meta. As Meta goes high, we will talk about Spotify in a second. I just want to get this out of the way. It's touching 149 right now, so we're long all the way down here. We're $1.30 in the money right now for Meta, so that's going to be a good trade for us. But yeah, nice upside move to 149, and now kind of hovering around right there. So I don't know. We'll hold it. My best out here is 148.67. All right, Spotify. I'm holding Meta. I'm holding Meta to the high of the day. It doesn't, whatever. All right, so now Spotify. I'm not gonna, like, I only have 20% of Meta, so if you're just in it now, that's not a comment on where I think it's going. It's just what we're doing. I was hoping that we would get a dip buy into 100. I was waiting at 104.50 or something like that. That's in the pre-market, right? So the best we actually get down to here on Spotify is pretty much off the open. And this goes back to that AMD talk that I was saying. Like, no matter what you think about a stock, you got to let it calm down and give you an area to buy. Well, here it is right here, and we missed it unless you got it long. But that buy right here at 107 came right in, and that was the pre-market. That was the bottom at 940, and then again right there at 1030. So basically, it goes an hour, hangs out, comes back in, and now we're at highs again. I mean, whether or not it's at 113 or 112, looks like it's trying to go. It's right at the 200 period. Not bad. For me, I don't think I want to buy this until we get into 109. I don't know. I don't love the business, but at the same time, I didn't really look at the quarter. I knew I wouldn't be in this name unless it got down to 103, 104. So I didn't do too much work with it. Spotify, nice day, up pretty good, 11%. I don't know whether or not you like the name or not. I mean, this is a daily chart. It's really been working. So, you know, congratulations to anybody that's in this name. It's been a huge win for you. You're up right against this 115 right here that goes back to August and September. So I'd say you want to look at that right there on Spotify. So maybe a 115 top before you fade it, but great day for them. And yeah, to the races for Spotify.
Yeah, that 115 should be something tomorrow. I looked for the dip buy, I missed it by, it was over $1. So this is not like XOM where I missed by 5 cents or 10 cents or whatever it was, looking for the dip buy. I wanted it in around 104, 105. I was actually sitting at 105. I liked that. I liked it breaking on the 200 period, and now it's gone. Tomorrow we get the Fed, right? So you start lining up key levels 115 and 125. I mean, 125, you might think, well, it's not going to 125. Well, on Fed day, anything can happen.
Oh, yeah.
So I always put that out there. Like, there's 2 levels upside where I think spot could be a little bit of a fade. It's just been on so much of a tear that I think that retracement trade is going to be there for us at some point. But there was nothing there for me. I was looking dip buy. Didn't want to chase it just because of how violent I felt it could have been on the way back in.
Spotify coming out of this report. Monthly active, there we go. Monthly active users, 489 million in the quarter. That was higher than expected. And then the premium number, which increased by 14% in the quarter, 205 million, topping estimates of 202 million. That coming on the back of 2 in a row to the downside. So, yeah, a bit of a surprise, I guess, to the upside today for Spotify. Good look for them. Speaking of good look, here's GM. I pulled this headline out, not the actual earnings headline, because, yeah, LAC is having quite the day here as well. On this, it would appear, 650 million equity investment coming to LAC from GM to further this Nevada mine.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes the Clippers have a good day, and then you just have to respect
That's hilarious.
it.
When I saw that too, I was like, GM is like the now official sponsor of the Clippers. That's what I thought too.
But it's Lithia.
I wasn't sure if it was the Chargers. So I sort of LAC, right? I don't know.
And they both suck. So, well,
The Chargers don't suck.
No, they don't. They're solid teams. They're just perennial disappointments for a lot of their fans. You don't win the championships. It is what it is, man. What do you want me to say? Like, I'm not trying to, what?
The Bills, though. Perennial disappointments for their fans.
Why you got to go there?
You went there.
That was
I'm
entirely
like, you're trying to throw shade at a little bit at the
Yes.
Chargers here.
So I want to throw shade at the
I mean,
Chargers
I feel the
all
same way
day.
for the Packers. I mean, I don't know.
It's tough. It's tough being a football fan of the Buffalo Bills. So I like to throw shade at other teams. That was my attempt at the Chargers. We'll go back to GM, and this was clean. 50 period, 200 period, breakout, beat on earnings, guided higher. There was everything to like about the report. So thank you, Barry, for steering it in the right direction. I favored a dip buy. I would keep it simple, stupid, which is a phrase I like. There is pre-market high, 38.70, all above that 200-period moving average. There's 30.25. It dipped right in the pre-market to 30.25, consolidated and broke out. So the dip, same level that it consolidated. Easy peasy. It goes into 39. We actually hold some. I hold some for 39.50 after rejected 40, and then I'm buying that previous top at 39 even. Dip, scalp it to 39.40. Then it makes a bigger dip in. This is the key. Like, it's holding VWAP there at 39 even, but you look at the velocity of when it's coming to the downside. So instead of just buying at 39, when the velocity picks up like that, allow it to get right into this wick bottom at 38.75. Buy that level instead of the 39 before, and then hold on to the trade. Now it's not really doing anything, which is kind of annoying. So I'm just sort of sitting in this one in the money about 30 cents, and I'm not sure I'm going to get more. And while that's happening, so here's Silvergate coming back in. I have 14 as my price, and it is challenging that bottom here. So this is where it's put up or shut up time. I think there's room to 15, if not 15.50, if this BlackRock news gets taken the right way. But if it cannot hold here, you know, I don't want to risk more than like 35 pennies or so. So my stop's underneath that 70 level. I'm looking to see if it can go. I'll probably get out 4 ways up to 15, and we'll see if this one does in fact squeeze. Just to remind everybody like what Silvergate has done. Not that you guys have not seen a chart like this. I said 170 was its high. So that's the 20. Just to be clear, just to correct myself there, that was last year's high, was a double top at 170. I remember it because I remember taking some out well before it. But yeah, I actually had a 240 top. So it's down even more than that. But you got to go back 2 years. 2021 was a 240 high on SI. I don't think it's getting anywhere near those prices, but there's a reason BlackRock's probably sticking it in at 13 bucks or whatever they happen to get. You know, high short interest, maybe not that bad of a play, but they are in a lot of trouble fundamentally.
Oh, BlackRock?
No. BlackRock's no. SI is in a lot of trouble fundamentally.
Yeah.
BlackRock, I mean, they're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 7% ownership. Oops. Right there. We'll go. All right, so look, we just took Meta right there. That's $1.40 in the money, so we'll take it right now at 148.95. We'll hold that small last 10%. Look, 10% is good, man. We'll still hold it to see if it goes, but you are right again near this top for Meta. We just tweeted it out, and you know, I got a lot of someone yesterday, I think it was Julie, I can't remember who it was, mentioned to me, Sean, like they want me to start tweeting out my charts more. So I've been hitting Meta long all day right here and the Apple short. So we put both of them on here. You can follow me at TraderTVSean on Twitter to see some of the charts, and then you know you can sort of see what I was looking at. Not that it's always going to be right or anything like that, but that's something that I'm looking at is this bottom right there. It came right in, and you know, even on that midday show, I was like, huh? But there it is right now, 149.40. Look, tomorrow is Fed, right? At this time tomorrow, this market is going to be up and down. And if you've never seen it before, it's going to be wild. So you can mark our word for that. That's one thing that's guaranteed. And, let's just see. The reason why I sort of preface with that, the market's already up 1% here. It's been an amazing run for the NASDAQ. We talked about them having its best month, the best January, I think, since 93 or something. We went over this a couple days ago. But anyways, I just wonder that, are we going to rally into Fed? I mean, have we not already rallied? Like, are you not entertained if you're long the NASDAQ right now? I mean, this is the NASDAQ. I mean, I don't know. We can just keep zooming out. This is a 30-minute. Let's go to a 60-minute here on the NASDAQ I know this is GM earnings, by the way, I'm discussing right now. NASDAQ bottom right there. If you bought the bottom, which there are a lot of people that did, a lot of traders, and there's also a lot of traders that bought this 11-2 break right here when we started to go. So, you have to be pretty happy with this kind of a return from 11-1 all the way up to 12-1 is where we are right now. So that's 10% plus, to the high side, even more than that at 12-3. So, I just wonder, are we going to rally the NASDAQ into the close? I say that, and I'm long Apple right now after being short all day here. Like, look at this. All these purples are shorts, by the way, as you can see as we zoom it back out. Look at all this. Look at all this profit taking until eventually the last time we got stopped. And I said, if we're stopped now, let's just go long. We're waiting here in the 90s to get a piece out. But that's sort of the logic that I'm thinking about right now into this market. I don't have any GM trades at all. I was going to say, oh, well, I don't have any GM. Let's go over to another auto name. But I can see, Brendan, it's on the board already. It's Carvana.
Yeah, which was, I just saw, trade of the day yesterday. If you didn't catch that yesterday, make sure you go watch that one as well. CVNA downside today, had it on watch, though. It was on the watch list again after what happened yesterday. Huge, monstrous move to the upside. We get above that in the pre-market here and then get the fail eventually. But 9.5 comes into play, which was the support level throughout the day yesterday for Carvana. I mean, obviously nowhere near as volatile and as wild. As I say that, it's starting to pick up here, trying to get back to $10 though for CVNA.
CVNA sucked today.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that. No, we'll go over it. I like the long yesterday in CVNA. Came in looking at the double top break. This is really early. It's like 8 a.m. It's breaking out above 11. I scalped that trade, and then I'm looking for this retracement trade in front of 1050. That goes like 1060s into 11 a couple of times. And then at the open, it's just once it hit the open, it rejected 11.11. I don't know why I didn't respect that price because I was talking about it in the pre-market. I stopped out early, and then I got back in front of 10, one bounce for 20 cents, and then reloaded it, and then that stopped out. All of a sudden, you can get back above 10 again. Maybe that's interesting if it gets above 10 and starts holding that bid. But I didn't get it at $9. That was probably that last little ditch where I think you could have had a bit of a dip buy. I didn't end up grabbing it. I think Carvana kind of stunk today, so I'm going to slap a fail on Carvana. It ends up not – this is a whole key. Like, as long as you have stops along the way, it's really not that bad. But that doesn't change the fact that it was every single point at which I'm covering a long is a short entry at the end of the day. So I'm not really happy with that, despite surviving it. It's kind of annoying to have not really sniffed out that 11.11 fail and then some point flip into the short. I don't know that I'd short it now. We'll see how it responds to that 10 level. But there was just MSGM just started going again. And I just tried to trick a quick, whoops. I keep mixing these two up. MGAM was just going again. MSGM is that whatever stock that went like 1,000%. It actually did go 1,000% to the upside. I'm not just saying that to be like cheeky. But I had a bit of a quick cheeky long 65s in front of 50s on a breakout of MGM. This is a stock that I was shorting earlier, but it looks like it's bouncing. I just want to see if I can't get another little bit of a dip buy in here off the $2 level. In MGAM, it was a sympathy play in the mobile gaming.
I could see myself losing a little bit of money here on PayPal, Brendo. New alert here. PayPal laying off about 2,000 employees. That seems a lot for PayPal. I don't know what their employee count is right now, but there goes PayPal right now. 80.80 basically where we started this move from, all the way up to 82. I'm breaking through 82 here on the long. We've seen this move happen before in many different names, and let's just see where it wants to go. The reason why I looked at 82, we've been here before. It was just 2 days ago, actually. Today, yesterday. 30th we were up here. So as high as we got was 82.50. So we're not going to hold it more than 50 cents. If we do get an 82 long, which we're not in it yet, we're going to try to break it right there. That's yesterday's close. Well, it's not yesterday's close, actually. Yesterday's close. Oh, no, here's the 30th. So that was 2 days ago, my bad. On the 29th, we got up to 82.50. Yesterday's close, we bounced around 81.50, 81-ish. So it's a nice move up. There it is. We are now into the position. Here we go. We are now long PayPal. And that's what I was going to say. You never know, like, where this market's going to take you any day, right? So here comes PayPal. We'll take a piece out here at 20 if we can get it. We're long at 03, like we said. Our upside risk on this one, 82.50, I think we can get to. I'll feel bad if we don't get out, because right now, like, I'm randomly just waiting at 18 here. Hopefully it can come back up and fill out. There it is. Fill us a little bit there. So now it's starting to run. Let's go PayPal. Glad we brought this one to you right now. Here goes PayPal. We just brought this to you. We just punched along through 82 now and starting to go back up to the upside. PayPal to lay off about 2,000 employees. Oh, there it is. 7% of the workforce. So let's go. We're waiting at 82.48. We just got missed there. Went up to 82.46 as if. All right, here we go. We're only going to give this back to 81.50, but here it is, man. PayPal starting to go right in front of us here. Trader TV Live. Let's go.
There's a link to that. Just sent it on Twitter there if anybody wants to see it. But it's from Market Watch coming across right now, in fact, 221, 220 for PayPal. So a nice move up there on monster volume. That's worth mentioning for PYPL. Let's go on. We heard about AMD there to kick things off at 2 o'clock. As far as the chips are concerned, we got NXPI overnight or early on this morning. That was worse than expected. A lot of people were pointing to this Samsung report that came out overnight as being very, very negative, which it was. I saw the shares actually in the APAC region, though, ended the day higher, which could have been maybe a precursor to what happens with a lot of these chips today, guys. But AMD under the spotlight tonight.
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, you heard Sean talk about AMD in the trade of the day there. So I'll quickly go over. I'm in Intel, but it feels like it's going to take out the top. But I've been shorting this one pretty much every chance that I got that made sense. Like, I favor the shorts in Intel today, but it's not like I was just shorting it anywhere. It rejected 28. At the open, we shorted 27.90. I didn't quite get the bottom. In fact, I don't need that bid down there. What's the point? I don't think it's getting there. Then I wait for it to get to the 28 level. Tried to break out at 28, couldn't get past afternoon resistance up here, shorted it back into almost VWAP. I've been reloading it above that 28 at 28 8s and 9s. Essentially, that's the price I keep getting, but you're just grinding higher. Oh, thank you very much. I need a... Thank you so much there. Fahad just came with an apple fritter there, so... You know what? I might get stopped out of Intel, but at least I'm going to have
Someone wants a raise.
At least I'm going to have an apple fritter. I know. He knows exactly what I cannot say no to those things. But I already had a Rice Krispie Square today, which means I might have to work out tonight. So we break out this high. I got to get out of Dodge. It's 28.15 is the top here, so I've been shorting basically 9s. I'm not even going to reload this. The market is breaking the tops. No need to go back to the wall. If it gets to VWAP, fantastic for me. I like to go over some of the things just to talk about what I'm actually in. So you might have heard Luca, and he was talking about 102 on Amazon. I love 102 as well. The second it put in this move, this wick bottom, I was kind of eyeballing it all afternoon. It dipped once, and I missed it because I wasn't up. And then when I sat back down, I got the 102. It's just barcoding at 102.5, but if the market continues to go, I think we could see 103. And I am short Rivian. And Rivian, look, Rivian's super strong day today. But it made 1, 2, 3 tests at that high before I jumped in, scalped it a bit, retested that high. I'm just looking for the pure retracement trade at this point, as Rivian has had a very strong day. After, Lucid took everything to the upside, it rejected everything yesterday, and I just waited for it to make a top. Like, it's not really even at a key level. Like 1940 is the current high. It's not like it's 20 or anything. So if it breaks 40, I'm out. If it flushes into like 19s or lower past VWAP, I'll try to hold some in case the market pulls back here. But super strong day, and I will get out at this top. I'm not fighting this by averaging in, just getting that short scalp off the highs.
All right, so we'll flush ourselves on the toilet. We got a piece for PayPal. We got a piece out there, and then it just came right back in. So we'll buy it one more time here just to try. This could be a flushed moment. And remember, PayPal has been obviously in trouble for a bit, but they had some nice moves to the upside. We're above the 50 period. This is news-based trade, so, you know, it could easily fall. Well, it just did fall against us. So, you know, we got a piece out. That sucks that we were at 48. It went to 40. I don't know, what is the high, 47? 48, so we missed it by a gateway. Wrong gateway there, else we would have got out of more, but that doesn't matter. It still fell down where we got out there at 81.50. I did buy some back right now at 81.50, so let's see. You can see the average price right now, it's 51. You know, we're going to get out if it takes 25. That's the 50 period right there. I don't think you can really use lines too much when news hits like this. So, you know, we're in this name. Maybe once it hits, you know, more wires here, then we can get back up to the upside. Let's offer something in the 70s to get a piece out here. Like I said, in case it doesn't want to go. But it's a nice little battle back here. We're in the money only 20 cents. We did lose 40 cents on that move. So, you know, we need to get this backside a little bit here. Hopefully it can rip up. Why does it keep stopping? I don't know. Let's go. Maybe we get going here or not. I don't know. Well, there we go. We'll take a 70 there. Now we're waiting a little higher than 70 to take a piece out. We take one piece out there at 70. Now let's see. Here it comes back down. Looked like it tried to go there and failed. So again, we're just kind of scalping it. And this is the kind of trade that we do here on the show, right? So you already saw AMD. My worst trade of the day, and I was saying this to Neil earlier, it's like the only stock that I'm really in trouble in, and that's NVIDIA. And it's because I violated the rule that I said there early, and that was not to get in too early on names. Like, here's me shorting NVIDIA, right? Takes out the top before absolutely collapsing, validating those shorts, right? So we went short, then we went long right here, dropped it. It was just a little bit of a mess early. It wasn't as bad. I can't look at what trade was in the money. I think we went long there and was able to take some long trades, but then eventually it broke down, and that was that. So, all right, here comes PayPal right back up to the upside. Let's see if we can get out at 70 again, and without further ado, go over to Brendan.
Just watch out on that PayPal, guys. The CEO is actually making some comments right now and has confirmed this is true, and it is going to happen over the next coming weeks. So, again, the CEO confirming these layoffs from PayPal.
I don't know, man. I like.
It wasn't confirmed. I mean,
someone
just like phoned a reporter. I just got laid off, and so did like 1,999 others as well.
It's so ridiculous.
And they had that exact number, right? So there it is, a nice move. Let's go.
Now it's going.
Let's go. I'm at 69er right now, waiting there. Like, this is the problem. As if you see how it doesn't hit real orders. Let's go, there it is. Thank you. All right, finally goes through. Sometimes if you yell at it, it works pretty good there. Now it's going to the upside. By the way, so is Apple right now, trying to go upside as well as the market is taking out days high. So I don't know if you have any longs. I'm long right now. Meta, which is $1.21 in the money. Despite the market taking out days high, Meta's still below where we got it. But, you know, it's PayPal is the one that we're worried about. Not worried. We just took some more out right here. We'll be red on it if we get out, obviously, but it's not that bad. We made a little bit of money back here by going longer at 40 and 50. We just should have been patient with it. But hey, I don't know if that rips 82 and just keeps on going. We had the trade. We just didn't take advantage of it. Oh, I want to say something to Dan Emmons here in the chat. When I just talked, and it was very, very key. Where is it, Dan? Oh, man, where is it? I don't know where it is. Oh, no, taking care of business. Here it is right here. So this is it. I just wanted to, it was a while ago, so here's Dan Emmons right here. So I was just talking about how good January was, right? Then Dan came and said, best January P&L for me with NASDAQ shorts. Best month for me in trading history. So there you go. Despite the market being up, there have been so many good opportunities to short POPs, take advantage of some of these moves like Carvana. And I know you said short NQ, but what I'm getting at is there's so many opportunities. I tend to sort of go both ways, no pun intended on that one. And the thing is that I too am having the best month. So, I mean, been a great January, and I just want to say, despite the way that you trade, that's what it's all about, Dan. Congratulations to you. Know your levels, know your trading style, stick with it, and you'll know if you're making money. So stick with what's working. Congratulations to everybody having a banner month.
Yeah, and I think this is it's been one of these times where everyone thought there was that tax loss selling, and then you'd bump to the upside. But reason why some shorts have been good, I'm going to talk Amazon in a quick second here, but reason why some shorts have been good is you have so many key levels on the way back for depressed stocks. So when the Qs go up, there's just so many areas of resistance they have to get through. Speaking of, that's my transition to Amazon. It needs to break 102.70 here. If it doesn't take this out, I think it's in danger of getting back. I mean, if it breaks back below VWAP and fails this level, I think I get the dip buy at 102. Otherwise, we're headed toward the high of the day. Silvergate's not really going anywhere. MGAM is right back at that even 23.3. However, there is some concern for me with Intel. Like I always say to myself, like the things that are holding or in the money, that's not the concern. It's the thing that's pressing up against that high. If Intel takes out the top, I got to get out. The question I need to ask myself is, do I favor the long break on Intel above 28.15 and then long into 28.50? I'm not quite there yet, but I'm kind of talking myself into this one that Intel could make enough of a push to get it to 28.50. It's just interesting that, like, you know, NVIDIA, okay, look at NVIDIA kind of going sideways up here. You already saw AMD with Sean. It's like, that's strong. It could break 75. I'd like to see something going and not just Intel all by itself before I reverse. So I'm not there yet. I kind of want to see a little bit more strength in some of the other chip names before I kind of hit that one into the long side of the trade. You don't have to reverse every level, but if it's a key level, you at least want to have the idea in the back of your mind. And I think that kind of goes without saying sometimes. I just think it's an important thing. I don't think I do it enough. Is quickly that MGAM. I got a more reasonable dip buy here. I pull up my 15-minute to remind myself how ridiculous this stock is going to wick around here. So when I jump into that 230, two options. Either I give it a lot of room or I have it a really tight stop on the way back in. I've decided to go pretty tight stop. I was able to get one leg out here up in front of 50, but this, to me, if it goes, like it should be able to get 75s and then 3s. And the daily on this, it's hard to see. This is $4. $4 is the key level. $3 obviously psychologically, and then $4 upside if it wants to go. That doesn't mean it's guaranteed. Silvergate is just kind of hanging out here on that retracement. Just went too far. On that retracement, I'm still looking for it to pop into these levels, like 15 to 15 and a quarter. It gets up to that price. I think it's an obvious sort of short if it got there, so I'll be out if it gets up to 15, 15.50. But for now, looking for that bounce play, risking about 35 cents plus slippage on this position. So my outs are once it goes, about 30 pennies in the money. Once it goes, about 50 pennies in the money. And then if it goes $1, you try to hold on for that home run style trade. And you know what? After that, I like PayPal to 81. I pulled up my 15-minute. As long as it's above $81, I just can't see I don't see why. Or the market does something crazy maybe, but I just can't see a reason why it should be trading beneath that price based on what was just confirmed here. And there's so much room to the high from last week. I mean, the high was 82.50. Like, you still got $1 to go from here. If the market breaks the top, I can't think of better places to be.
Why, thank you. Yeah, look, I mean, we're in PayPal now at 81.40, but So I've just been getting it out here, and I don't mean to talk about the same, name that Neil's just talking about, but I'm in this one right here. So, yeah, you know what? It had a hard time breaking this 95 area. It went up there 3 times into 95 and stopped. So we had a good out at 85. I took another one at 75. So now it looks like it's trying to fade off of that. So my next order is right here at 82.20, just because it just looks nice if I get that fill. I think that would be a good spot. And then again, if we drop down below where we're in, I believe I put that stop in. Yeah, right here. So 82. That's 82.35 is the 50 period. So we're now positive on PayPal, but it's position pending. So we got to wait to see where this name goes from here. We're able to make back what we lost there because we put on about 1.4 times or it was 1.4. That just happened to be what it was on this. So whatever we had there, we had about 140% more when it came back down. And again, we're trying just to defend some of these bottoms, including 81.50. So once we got out, we saw that bottom wick. Look, we still could get stopped out. I mean, it's coming in right now to stop us out. So, just want to talk about that trade before this does happen. I must also cancel my 82.15. I don't know if that's coming through, but a break back down below that and we're out. I don't want to ignore Apple because, again, a name that we were really shorting and did really good on the short, obviously, as you could see. But once we got blown out of that short right there at 70, we got out at 75. I waited for it to take 80 and we went long. So there's an out at 92. That's 10 cents. I think we're long at 82, 83, so 9 cents. And right now we're bouncing around that same level. So I feel like I need to take this out. So I'm going to do a little bit more here. Take out another 10% here. If we can get that 93 for that 10 cents. And then if it rips up, man, and we could take 144, then I like that for Apple, right? I mean, here's the 20-minute chart. It has a lot, just like Neil said for PayPal. I mean, we can get going here. If the NASDAQ wants to go, 144 is going to look cheap right there. And then you're going to be talking about, there it is, we just took the fill. So we'll spin the money on that one. But we take the fill. It's a small fill. It's nothing. But we're going to wait to see, hopefully, small out. Hopefully it can get right back up to the upside here. And of course, remember, Neil and I are scalping and we have to be flat. We don't have to scalp. We can hold on for all day. But at 4 p.m., we do have to be flat. So no matter what I think about where Apple's going or where it's not going or anything about Apple, if it doesn't take this 144, then it probably backfills down here, which is fine. That's just a flat out for us, right? So let's see if it can continue to work. Did I just get more shares in something? No, I did not. Meta is just took that. So that was a great out, man, at 149. I'm debating this fill right here, 148.50, which would suck because that was only $1 in the money. But I'm glad we took a piece out there. Meta was great down here on a reload. We might have to do that again. So let's wait to see what's happening down here at 148.50 for Meta. But until then, we'll hold all these longs.
Yeah, you know what? I actually like one a little bit tighter to the 148 level on Meta. I'm just sort of looking back at that one. I don't want to ignore Tesla. I'm putting a trailing stop into GM, and I'm going to be in this one, but I'm not really actively trading it, so I'm just going to do this. Trailing stop 39, and then put an offer near the high of the day. At this point, barely holding on to any left of it. It's not worth managing the position too actively. But to go over to an EV name here. So I'm in that Rivian. It still hasn't taken out the top, which I think it might. Remember, I don't want to lose sight of Tesla here and that 174 level. It's starting to get going as the market's really breaking those highs. Silvergate's starting to go. I jumped on the PayPal train because, quite frankly, it's hard for me to envision a world in which that one isn't at least retesting some of those highs. I'm going to get stopped out of Intel. I looked over. I don't want to reverse the long in Intel. I don't know that that's going to be the right name to go over to, so I'm going to stay away from that. Silvergate's back in the money, but it's only in the money 10 cents. I don't want 10 cents on Silvergate. That's not enough. 70% short. I want more than a 10-cent trade on the stock. I think that makes some sense to me. Amazon, I don't know what's going on with some of these names, like the big cap names. The market keeps breaking highs. Amazon, it's in the money, but what is with this sideways action? This is not a Chinese ADR that should do nothing in the afternoon. I'm expecting we break this 102.70, but if we don't break eventually, maybe I accept that Amazon is not nearly as strong as I would have thought it's going to be, which is a huge disappointment as far as I'm concerned. I like this PayPal. I'm going to jump in it as well. I'm going to add to it if I can get some more shares down in the 30s. I think you hold it to 81s. That seems like a good line in the sand. And then maybe we have to. I see a lot of people talking about Palantir in the chat.
People are
but this
loving
one
Palantir.
seems a little bit more interesting. So remember Sober? They had the
breathalyzer?
Yeah, it's like that breathalyzer thingy. There's a name for it. Whatever. But it's up 71% today. I didn't catch the news, if there's news on this. And we'll ask Brennan if there's actual news on this, because if there is, I didn't actually catch it. But a 71% move. It's on the way to $2 as we speak. If you go to the daily chart, it's like 250. That's kind of the next big line in the sand that isn't just a random $2 level. So there is some room there. And I see Azhar talking about in the chat asking, is shorting MU at 60 a good idea? Don't ask me about MU. I hate MU today. I had multiple shorts on NU, and then I made the top wick. Well, it's not quite the top wick. It's close enough to the top wick. I had a short working off 60. It was down at 59.5. I reloaded it, made top wick, and never went back. I think 60.25 makes a little bit more sense here. 60 is just a round number at this point. It made sense at 10:30. Now it's just a round number, and the high to me is that 60.25 area. It's another reason why I don't trust and love the reverse in Intel. So Intel's breaking the high, Micron's off the high, AMD's off the high. Nvidia's off the high. I can't reverse long in Intel under those circumstances. It just doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense. I'll get out of my short in 2 cents, but I won't be reversing long because I'm not really seeing enough strength in the chips.
All right, I just want to go back over one more thing here because as you can see, Apple just rejected. So I'm rating here at 90. So I'm at 98, sorry, to get a fill. Hopefully it'll go. I just want to show, I mean, I didn't realize this was going to fill. Get it, get it, get it. Ooh, missed. I'm not on an inverted gateway. I'm on an actual gateway to get paid to get out. So I should have just been and paid somebody to get me out there, but let's see if it goes back up. And again, just want to get another piece out if we get up to 95. At this point, it's more reasonable, guys. It's a 17-cent winner, which is pretty much the whole move over the last half hour. I am not expecting big-time trades happening here in the last half hour. So, I mean, there's an hour left before imbalances. Those imbalances could be something for sure. You know what? Here, I'm going to take a 96 out now because it's going to kill me if I don't get 98s, and I could have got 96s, and then the market just tanks downside. So there it is. We'll take a 96, though. We just got it right there, as, of course, it's going through 96. But there it is. Another trade to wrap it up on Apple. We still got the long. I just want to make sure that we are starting to get some out, as Meta is also heading back to high of the day, back up to 149. So far, so good on a couple good holds. Let's go over and find out what Brennan's up to.
I was sitting here trying to type this out for you, Neil, but thought, why don't I just explain it instead and save everyone some time? So this Sober Check is one of the products made by this SoberSafe, which is a drunk driving company that has electronic devices to prevent the activation of a vehicle if someone is impaired. TerraTech Services is a oil basin and oil services company that has U.S. locations right across the entire U.S. So they've deployed this Sober Check product throughout all of TerraTech Services locations, to make a long story short. So yeah, there is a nice story for them, in fact.
I'm slow.
All right. Caught him with a fritter there. Yeah, okay, so a good story there. We can look over at Sober real quick. Come on, Meta, let's keep going to the upside right now.
God,
all right, 182, 183, starting to go. We did buy some more PayPal back, but as the market takes out the high of the day, PayPal's not going back up, but we still got it. We're 7 cents in the money on PayPal. We're now 20 cents in the money as Apple continues to move higher, so that's going to be a good trade for us. And here's Sober right now. So it's a little sobering looking at this chart, all the way to the downside, and now a nice little move back up. I don't think you want to buy this name until it becomes like some sort of a legal requirement to have those breathalyzers in the cars and whatnot. I think it's great as a tool for the consumer. Like, you know, if you're questioning, you know, your own tolerance or whether or not you're able to drive or operate machinery or whatever it is, at that case, I think it's always great to be safe. So I think this is a great tool. And like Brendan said, I think this is great for mankind. But as far as like something for a stock, I don't, you know, there's going to be so many other names like this that are going to come up, you know, with inventions and with tools like that. Until it actually becomes mandated, I don't really see it being a thing. Like, I don't know.
You know what the problem is with it, for me with that company? Think about it long term. Your entire business plan is based upon people driving while not inebriated when everybody is trying to crack automated driving. So how long do they have to actually make that work?
But it can work
20 years, 30? I mean, I
think it can work in conjunction.
But it won't be necessary.
That's a good
At some
word.
point, that could be the school word today. At some point, I just don't think it matters.
Right.
And it's not, look, I think it's a great concept, and obviously everybody be safe. It's just when you're looking down the long term, especially something that probably hasn't made any money yet, it's like, well, if you don't figure that out, and if that isn't mandated within the next couple of years, you're just running out of runway for it to be a big thing. And you know what? I shouldn't. Yeah, not to talk too bad about it. It's a cool concept there. I like the it's the leisure suit. Larry.
No, Leisure Larry has the buttons and everything like an actual. But this is this is just like a it's like a tracksuit jacket thing.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta sport it. The Adidas. It's not the Adidas.
It's not the Adidas. Maybe I'll wear some Adidas tomorrow.
I remember the first time my cousin said that to me. I was like, "What the hell are you talking?" My cousins live in England. And I'm like, why are you saying it like that? But
it's not English, it's German.
No, but all Europeans say it the right way we say it the wrong way.
Correct.
And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Because he was saying it that way.
People will say that on the chat. I'm like, Adidas, and I just call it up like as if it's a normal name, and then people are like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Just a quick note.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
I
PayPal's
did get
not moving.
one fill 1420s in here, and it looked like SI was going to bounce, but I don't mind reloading this, but I'm going to maintain my stop. Like, I don't want to get too aggressive here, but I'll try reloading this. I just feel, and it's not to say BlackRock has it right or anything, but 70% short, I don't see one move being made here. I do feel like it should be, you hold that high, you get a breakout, you hold the previous high, you get a second test into the upside. But if it wants to be a 30 to 40 cent scalp trade, then I'll reload 80s and try and take some out just on the north side of 14, if that's what it has to be. While all that was happening, like seriously, Intel doesn't break the high, but it doesn't do anything. Either break the high or let the short work. That's what I think should be happening in there. Is it one or the other? And I feel the same way about Rivian, although Rivian is not in threat of breaking the highs just yet. But I don't want just this over and over again. I want it breaking the bottoms and giving me 19s. That said, I should actually be on the bid at 19s if I hope to get 19s. Fancy that. Amazon, now we got to press. It's through that 70 level. This is a double top, 103.50. I am out in front of this double top. I'm not holding it past it. That is last week's high on Friday. So if we get to it, it's a Fed day tomorrow, which I don't think we said enough, which to me, I'm not necessarily expecting major levels to get broken until we have the actual decision at 2 o'clock tomorrow. And even then, it might not be until after like 2:30 when we get the podium. So if we get past 103, I'm looking for that double top on Amazon, show you the higher time frame so that this makes a little bit more sense and better context. I'll continue to have a trailing stop on this. But once it broke VWAP, the only question was, do I want to buy the dip at VWAP, which I think the answer is turning into a bit of a yes for me.
All right, I'm just looking at the same kind of thing right now and trying to figure out what the best strategy is here for PayPal, which is absolutely sleeping right now. Like, we went longer again here, man. 50. I mean, that's why our price is a little worse. If you're wondering what's going on, yeah, we got a little worse on the price. So right there, we're gonna see 81.52. I don't know. It keeps on stopping here at 62. Like, my average price is 48. So, I mean, we could take a dime over and over and over again. But like Neil said, I think that we're looking for a little bit more, especially here as the market takes out highs. And by the way, what else is taking out a high? I don't care, man. We'll spin this one. We'll go diamond hands on this. We're $1.40 now in the money on it. Our last out was right here. Now we're breaking higher. So I like it, man. I like this trade. I think it can work. Obviously, back up to the upside now. Goes meta. Might as well just hold on to it is what I'm thinking here into the I don't know, even into the mock. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's now an hour away. But let's see if this market keeps on going. There goes the NASDAQ through 12.1. I mean, we talked about how key that 11.9 was a couple days ago, and it actually came in this morning one more time, 11.9, before hitting 12,000, which was right here, which is where we danced, and now it's just straight to the upside right now and starting to break some backs here goes the market. Apple's still trying to go as well. Hey, maybe there's something else we can find. I thought this would look bad when we got out. That was Roblox. But look at this Roblox buy here tonight, earlier on. We bought 35.80s. Now, we got out there at 37 when it came up the first time. It touched 37.13. When it broke lower, we got out. The high of the day is only 37.30. I thought we'd be a lot higher on Roblox than we are right now, considering the fact that, you know, where we bought it, where we got out. We got out at this level at 11 o'clock. So, you know, 4 hours, 3.5 hours later, you're kind of at the same level now. So we'll wait to see what happens at 37 now for Roblox. But still, that was a great take down there. We found it on the Trade Ideas scanner on relative volume. So you're seeing today, now it's kind of calmed down, only 6.26 million shares. But if you wanted to, first of all, hit the subscribe button. That's the first thing. You can't be a member of our chat unless you do that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is make sure we have Trader TV 20 right now. You can subscribe. So this shows relative volume. Now, right now, Roblox isn't there, like I said, but XOM, Snap, SoFi, MU, Lucid, all of these names on here, Palantir, you want to talk about a ripper, we'll look at that in a minute as well. That's up 5% today. Micron down 3%. I use this volume leader scanned with relative volume. We had Michael Noss on talking about how their relative volume is different than the rest of them. It recalculates it every 5 minutes. We'll have him on and talk about that, but you can join us and you can get my exact layout. I have the races, I have that volume leader. Neil also has a layout as well, available on Trade Ideas, so you can grab that.
Oh, that just reminds me.
At any time.
Someone asked me about getting my layout, and I apologize if they're listening right now. I was actually asked by DM, and I did not get to that, so I'll copy my layout. You just ask us, and we'll send it to you. Michael Noss has our layouts too, and you can always add him and say, send Sean or Neil's layout, and then we don't have to actually do any work.
Yeah, Michael Noss.
It's just cutting and pasting it for us. So Carvana, it wasn't a good long, and that 10 looked like, 10 was pretty good, eh? 10 was pretty good.
Yeah.
However, I remember this rolling over. I had to stop at 50, and the longs were good at about 60 to 65. So it's getting to that point where there's two swings, I think, for a short. That's here at about the 65 area, maybe 50s if you stretch it. And then if it goes up to 11, that's a for sure. I'm a little bit, PayPal, it's not going with the market, so I don't know.
You're going to get stopped out.
I'm the jinx. I've jinxed it.
I think you did.
Yeah, that's my fault. I jinxed it, so it's starting to roll back in. It hasn't really cracked down to 11 yet, so I haven't really added to this position. But at this point, it feels like it's destined to do so. So that's my bad for jinxing it. And can you tell us about your tool for halts called the TAP? That was just asked. Thank Anya. I don't know if anything is currently halted, but just to give you an idea, if something was halted like that MG whatever stock, I'm not gonna move away from PayPal because PayPal is breaking down into 81 here, so I'm gonna pick up this bid. But essentially the theoretical auction price, when a stock is in a halt, it's gonna have an auction to reopen. That means traders can put in limit buys and market buys and then corresponding sell orders as well. Those get calculated and back and forth, and any point they can look at what the indicated open would be if they were to group those orders together at that time, whenever it happens to be before it opens up, and say this would be the print 2 minutes before. And they continuously update that as new orders do come into the market. Of course, it gets more accurate the closer to the reopen is. So if it's a 5-minute halt, 4 minutes before that halt, the TAP might not tell you too much. But 5 seconds before the halt, the TAP's probably going to be pretty darn accurate, and the theoretical auction price, it should open at that, whatever it was 1 second before. It's a tool that we use if we're in position, just have an idea of where it's going to open up, so you can prepare stop orders and take profits, and you're not caught off guard. I wouldn't trade halts without it, personally. If you don't have it, ask your broker. You really shouldn't be trading stocks that are halting all over the place if you don't have an idea where the reopen is going to be. It's like trading blind, or getting into a fight with one hand tied behind your back, which is only good if you're Bruce Lee.
I was going to say, though, you can't actually, it only gives you the data once it's halted. I just want everyone to know that. It's not like you could see that. Yeah, like if you're already in it, there's nothing you could do. So it's not like, it helps you maybe get out on open of that halt. Yeah. That's the only thing for me that I've been able to see. Like if all of a sudden it's gapping up $2, you're like, well, I'll take a $2 print. You could put in for half of your position or whatever to try to judge that, because once you're in, you're in. But it might help you with options and stuff like that, right? So if you're trading options and you're noticing that the TAP is way higher, you could probably take advantage of that. I'm sure that's already been algoed out and black boxed out and all that stuff anyways. So for that. All right, PayPal dropped below whatever price. What did I get filled at? Yeah, drop at 30, so just drop below 30. We got 29s. So we got out of PayPal. I just, the market was at the highs. It wasn't moving, so I took the other way. I'm not, if it does come down, well, we can average into it again. But again, we went long. We took advantage of it early, got it late again, but we will be red on that name, as we should have gone short, obviously, on the top, but that's okay. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I mean, I don't feel bad about what we did. I feel like it was a good trade. All right. Apple. Now, Apple is getting ready to get dumped out. I'm not going to hold this back down through here. We've done really well on the short. We just won on the long. So, we make money on the short there. Then we make money on the long. Let's not let it drop all the way down again. So, Apple today against the market, weak versus the market. So, we're not going to trade that. Let's look for something else right now. You mentioned Netflix. Let's look at Softy. Microsoft's been a good name for a very long time. We'll have another look right now to see. I don't mind getting into Google. Yeah, Microsoft's high side right now at 247. That could be a good short off that 247, especially if the market does fail. We touched it once and twice. So here it is once, twice again, now breaking below. This isn't horrible, a break back down below for Microsoft right now, especially if you thought the market was going to give it up. You have a nice little level here at 246.50 about to come into play, Brendan.
Just seeing this green planes popping up again, GPRE. Okay, it's 57 million. I thought it was a tiny float, but not too bad. About 2 billion on the market cap for this one. A renewable energy stock up on some activist investor talk, it seems like. Just took out day highs there on volume, guys, for GPRE.
GPRE. I was just looking at like a flat bottom break, but I don't think I want to take it. Because it's at MSGM, and I don't want to pay for locates on this stock. Up that 650%. This is at barcoding off 20. This is like a double bottom at 18. It just feels like if it breaks that, it would be good. But you're paying $1. Last I checked, it was $1.20 for locates, which means, by the way, like if you were long here with a stop at 18, or at least if I was long here with a stop at 18, then you're only risking, you'd be 20 long with a stop at 18, you're risking $2. If you short 18 and want to have a stop at 20, you actually end up risking over $3 because you have to pay over $1 for the locate, and you get in a position, and then you're risking the amount of like the actual gross that you could be down. So I always say there's a price you don't want to pay, and if it changes the risk to reward, then you don't pay for the locate. Some people don't like to do it at all. Those people are named Arun, and to each their own. Like this stock is probably too volatile to be expecting necessarily to have like good stops and not get run a little bit. Meta here, 149 double top. So this is setting up Tesla's getting close to the high. 149 for a scalp double top if the market continues to press the highs is not a bad play. I know I'm sitting there looking for Tesla, 174. Tesla breaks 173. This is why I'm not long 173. It broke that level and went 25 cents. Of course, now that I was just about to say that this was not going off the 173 break, and now it starts to go the second I start talking about it. So what I'm going to end up doing is getting on the 173 for a dip buy, as Brad just informed me that it's time for happening now. So let's go to Brendan. Good voice, Brad.
Hey guys, into the final hour of the session we go. Make sure you do take a second, smash the like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I just saw a very interesting note that I wasn't aware of, but double checked. 74% bottom to top for Peloton. It's its best month ever for Peloton. Prad's not a fan. Green board still to have a look at here as we head into the final hour of the day. 1% for the S&P, 0.63 there for the Dow, 2% for the Russell 2000 now leading the way, 1.3 for the NASDAQ composite, 1.25 for the 100, the big ones. We were discussing a few of those in the pre-market along with GM, Tesla, and Spotify coming off earnings for this one and this one. Pretty good shape all day long. There's GM still 7.7% hanging out here at $39, not doing a heck of a lot. Spotify, guys, though, as you were mentioning, they're on its way or trying to get back to day highs right now.
Seriously, Tesla? So anyway, so it's at 174 already, basically. That's why I'm.
All right.
So look, it's like, yeah, okay, it's not doing anything. We'll be able to get 173s, and then it's like it's already at 174. I'm stopped out of Silvergate, so I'm going to slap a fail on that one. We end up losing the 35 pennies. We got one scalp trade out of it. There's the break on Tesla. So I wanted to see how strong it looked instead of just taking the break, see if I want to buy that dip on the way back in. I'm going to favor it. I'm going to take a shot on the dip. There's room to 175. So sometimes I don't want to get filled on the way up just in case it slams it back. Like I want to see how strong it is above that price, which initially it kind of went pretty far, and then see if it has a little bit of continuation there. So if it goes to the half, I think I'll get out some on Tesla. And then if it goes all the way to 175, that seems like an obvious sort of line in the sand. I'm still thinking about whether I want to reverse that Intel short into a long. I'm not there yet. I kind of feel like if I do it, I'll hate myself. And Rivian somehow isn't at the high of the day. And because, you know what, Tesla's breaking, I'm going to get some more shares out of Rivian as I watch that sort of glide higher. If Tesla's making a breakout, I should probably trim at least a little bit of Rivian. Amazon's now clear of 103. So I have a 103.50 as my target. I'm just out in front of that one. But it's Tesla on the break that I want to see if it can work here. So I had 13s to the long side. That's not a good lucky number, but it's just the price I picked above there. And I'll probably give it back to about 75s on the way back in. If I'm taking half out first fill when it gets in front of 50, then I want to risk 35 to 40 cents to make sure I get that 1-to-1.
All right, just a little quick time. Let's go like this quickly. Yep, there it is. Okay, so Apple, we just took it out at 144. It just ripped back up there. We take that out. We have a new position alert. Hit it for every new position alert. Right there, Micron against 60. You're down today. Let's see if the market pulls back. We have Micron short against 60 right now. So that's going to be a short name. And then another one. Hey man, it's power hour. Let's start powering up some positions right now, and hopefully they'll power up into the money for us. I'm not so sure about this one. New position alert, Lucid. I said I would not go short Lucid, and here I am short Lucid right now at 1160, trying to give it to about this 65 area. And again, Lucid just has not been doing anything today, so we're now below. We got the moving averages up here on the 3 minute. We'll see. We got a good fill there, 63. We actually started this below 60, so that's why our average price right now is 60. So we don't have a great average price here on Lucid, but it is starting to come in a little bit. Let's just see if it takes out 65. Still, like, look at this. You know, boom, that's the high, that's the high. Now we're at that high, now we're there, now we're here, now we're here. So, you know, this is, again, another one of those trades that I'm happy to be in it. Let's see if it works. Like, it's a good level for me. I'm happy. Let's see if it works. That's Lucid. Okay, and then the other one was MU, just to show you why. Here's the 3 minute. Here's the 200 moving average. So it's underneath it. Maybe it's a break long. I don't know. We've seen it so many times up here at 95, and it just kept failing. So I want to say if the market fails, then yeah, we're in this name. And let's see where it goes. Another average coming right here at 95. We're short at an 89, so give us a 95. It'll put us an average around 92, and then we'll see where we go from there. But for right now, we got Micron. Give me that 95, just missed me. Hopefully it rips through. I think we're on a paid gateway. Yes, we are. So we're gonna have to it's gonna have to go through us. Then we'll get the fill here at 95, and then that will be that, and it will be Micron. So let's watch to see what's going on right now with this name. We're short now. We just missed a 95. I like it. 2 new positions. And it was a good out for us, I guess, anyways, for Apple, because now you're fading back down a little bit. Meanwhile, Meta, absolutely banger on Meta right now as that's taking out the highs up to 149.20. Pretty happy with that one. There goes Meta.
Yeah, we gave back quarters. We gave Tesla back into that 3 quarters. It does not maintain the break. 73, probably the better price there. I have this crazy wick, so I have to zoom in so you guys can see it there. It doesn't maintain that quarter level. 173 looks like where we can pick up that bid. Intel won't break the high, so I'm still in it. It looks like that's going to be a good one. And Amazon's really starting to pull back. Like, that's a big pullback on Amazon. So I'm pretty close to, yeah, this is going to trail me out here. Like, look at Amazon. Like, it breaks 103, and then this is a huge fade. I'm hoping that this does not exactly capitulate all the way back into VWAP here. I feel like this is a bit of a shakeout. The NASDAQ still off those highs, but I was looking at that 103.50, a failed break at 103, and maybe this is only ends up being like a 75 to 80 cent trade. I'm just moving my trailing stop a little bit here. I just want to give it a little bit more room, but that's a pretty large reversal candle that we just got on Amazon. That's kind of crazy. Looked like that was going to be absolutely fantastic. I see you guys putting a lot of names in there, but you got to focus on what you're trading. Yeah. I see, look at Clover. I can't really go over that when the market's starting to move here. This is a major reversal in the market, and I still have PayPal, which is trying to it's not at 81 yet, so it's actually not as violent, and it's starting to find a bit of a bid here. The market's at the high and not really pulling back. So you have individual names rejecting. So as long as the market can go, I still like that 81 support on PayPal. I picked that based on the higher time frame. Intel just took out the high.
Yeah, same thing over here.
So I ended up taking a small position into Intel long. I'm now trailed out of Amazon, by the way. So at the same time I'm trailed out of Amazon, Intel decides to take the high of the day. For whatever reason, this is the chip name that is breaking the top. It is what it is, and I'm now long Intel for the first time in a little bit. I see MGAM is making a bit of a move, but there's so many moves happening in the big cap names. It's going to be difficult to go back over and pay attention to one of those MGAMs. You can sit in one of those, but it's been whipping around so much, I'd rather focus on the big caps we have here. Because with this strength in the market or individual names in the market, I want to have a focus on what I think can be like that power hour move, either rejecting and getting a huge flush, or like in Intel's case here, like at 28.15 where it just broke now, I think that can get to 28.50. And Intel, this is one of my babies. So let's see if it can go. I end up reversing it in the long. We'll see if that's a good decision.
Yeah, wow, Intel. Okay,
Surprising,
so
but-
we got taken out of Micron as well, as that took 60, and I just went long actually 60. So we'll now see. I mean, how fast we flip it over. I mean, we could lose 10 cents both ways here, which would suck, but we're here for that, I guess. And I guess I must have just misread that. That 50 period is actually right there. Sorry, the 200 period is at 07, which is basically where we went to. So a little misread there on Micron, but that's okay. We are long now as the market wants to continue to go to the top. Oh yeah, by the way, look what just happened down here. So we were short at 60. We just got a 57 fill. Itchy ear on Lucid there as we come back down in. So let's take advantage of that. We got out of a piece. We're gonna see, we actually got out of 20%. I want to do 20% all the way down. This is what Lucid looks like today. You know, you do have these bottoms here at 52, 53. So let's put another bid down there somewhere, and maybe we'll get filled. We'll put a 54 bid. If we can get that, that's sort of the bottom right there, and then we can see about breaking this, and then we'll see what happens with Lucid. But we do have our outs targeted up here, so we'll take 4 cents there on 57. We're short 61s, of course. Sorry, we're short 60 half on the board there. So I don't know, what does it show? Shows short 60 at 60 half, but doesn't matter. We'll take a 57 there. Hopefully they'll come back in and we'll be able to take that one more time. Apple broke up. Meta just, honestly, man, Meta has been one of these money trades that just keeps on working for us. I know it's the power hour. We just put on 3 new positions for you. There it is right there. Meta to the upside. Apple was the one that's not breaking, so it's actually going the other way and just deciding to do nothing. We've gotten nicely out of Apple right there. Micron just tried to take O's again and didn't. So it went up to 05 again there. I don't know. It's very, very choppy and bouncy here. If the market goes, I know Micron will go. But the key now is, do we want to go any higher? You're bouncing off the 50 period here on the NASDAQ. So this could be something that maybe we don't take out that 12.2. We've already been to 12.2 in the pre-market a couple days ago there. Actually today up there, or that was, what day was this? 27th, 28th. We're already up there. So I don't know if we're going to get there again as we await Jerome Powell tomorrow at this time.
JP.
The market will nowhere near be anywhere. Well, maybe it will be. I don't know where it's going to be, but I feel like the market's getting ready for something tomorrow, obviously, with Jerome Powell coming through. So we'll watch out for Micron. It's probably a short. We got out of the short. Now we're going to lose long. Frustrating there on Micron. No. But look at the market. The market really is fading out. There's Microsoft. So there we go. Now another new position.
Now we're fading.
Maybe I should just get out of Micron. There's Microsoft, took that 50. So that's kind of what we're looking for. First out, why not make it 30? Our out could be 75 to the upside. So that's 25 cents. We got to take 25 cents here on this if it's going to do anything. So here we go, man. I wish we were still short Micron, but we're not. Let's watch out for Microsoft here.
You can say that again, because I'm actually asking, I'm almost wishing I didn't reverse an Intel. I did get PayPal. I'm giving it to 81. Looks like it's going to fail that level there. This market is really starting to scream back. Not scream, but there's so many names coming back in. I look back over at Intel on that break, and it's like, if this is a wick top, that's what a wick top looks like. I end up reversing on one order. Probably should have stuck with the shorts. I do better shorting the stock. And it's not, even when it's in an uptrend, I do better shorting the stock. And it's just sometimes what works. I don't know a better way to say that. And maybe it defies logic a little bit, but I certainly have a better feel for the stock when shorting it than the long. I reversed into the long, so hopefully you didn't follow along with that one. But again, the idea was I thought there was room to the upside. The market had room on the NASDAQ to get a little bit higher. So, you had this break. If we trended into 121.5, kind of that yesterday's top, not the opening range top, I should say, then there was some room to go. And Intel also had room. It was breaking those highs. I like that momentum. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work at this point. I don't even want this getting past like 28.10. That was our original level we were shorting before. So if it breaks down beneath that, I'm all out of it. I will bite on Clover because I don't really see anything happening. It's just one of those short interest type names. It's on the NASDAQ. I think 6.5%. Thank you from Brennan. No news happening on Clover. I mean, now that I'm out of Tesla. General Motors is really just something we're hanging on to. I have a trailing stop on that. But Clover, not much of a move. I think it's just gliding alongside some of the other squeeze names. The notable thing here is your 50 period's been breached and you have a chance to close above it, which is usually a pretty bullish sign. That's about the only thing I see, and there is no news on it for a catalyst, which typically is pretty important.
All right, so damage done right now, Lucid. We just talked about getting that short. There it is right there, 1160. The short is in now for Lucid. We just get that 54 bid. This is a good trade, man. It's only an $11 stock. If we can go top to bottom right there, we'll do that over and over and over again. And right now, we almost rang the register a little bit on Microsoft. I thought it was going to take this out. It didn't. It went down to 32. Now I'm bidding 32 to get out of 20%. We'll see if this one can fill us up. Hopefully it does. Back into the downside here for Microsoft if it goes. We did get out of our Apple for flat. Good trade. I mean, thank God that we did do that right now, as we got out at 80, right where we were long, and now the drop is happening. So come on, Softy, a little bit more to the downside here, and we got you. Lucid as well, down to 52. Where's my bid, homie? 51. All right, a little bit more, We'll wait. Normally I'm sitting here thinking I should take a 52 because honestly, 1 penny difference doesn't make that much of a difference, but we'll wait for our price. We're trying to get out in front of... We're trying to get out in front of 50. So, maybe we'll take a 52 there if we can. Microsoft just floated right back up again. So hopefully this market can catch an ask here and make that move down as we're trying to bounce off 12. We're actually doing it 12.1 right now on the NASDAQ. So we're trying to bounce off 12.1. It's thinking about it. It just needs to go below this. Break this power hour bottom of 12.90 right there, and we should be good to go on that one. Let's check back in on PayPal just to see what that's doing.
It's
wow.
right there.
Okay, so good out. I mean, I'm glad we got out when we did, man. 30s. It's right down to 81, like Neil said. A good little reload area. I'm net short everything right now, so I don't think we'll be reloading this. Maybe we can get a Lucid. I just fixed it and I put it to 52 instead of 51. Hopefully that can come in right now. But hey, we're just these 2 names short. I like the trade. Let's see if it can work out for us. Short right now against 75, so 25 cents. So, what I'm looking for is really down here. But if we can get 20 cents early, we'll do that. And then we'll hold the rest to see where we go. But right now, we're trying to catch this bid here on Softy. One more push down, please, and get the fill. And then we'll work on it. I hate when we miss a fill like that. So hopefully we come back down here for Microsoft and get it, as well as Lucid, which we just got our 52s there for Lucid.
It's going to be hard to see on this chart, so I'll apologize in advance. Alphabet everything just made a pretty big pullback there. It's going to be really hard to see. But this level, I was getting all out over and over again on the longs, right about 97.75, 97.75 and a 98. So that's where I would like a dip by. Previous resistance into support. It's kind of frustrating to look at, but it is what it is. Meta, this one is coming back into VWAP here. So during lunchtime, I was actually working the short here. I did have shorts at the tops. If it got to 150, I would have put that one on again. We didn't really talk about that because that was in the past. I didn't think we'd see 150 again. But this 148 looks like it could come into play for a bit of a dip. The market also has 12,000 underneath it, so there might be a chance for a dip by there. I'm out of intel. I'm not going to hold on to that one. There's no news that I see for that little drop in the SPY. I just think a lot of names got close, they're tight to resistance, and failed to break out. And then all of a sudden it's like cascading moves. Like we got to the high of the day on Amazon, and it just failed to top. At the same time, Meta was at 149. You had a lot of names that were up at the tops. Tesla was at 174. That was a double top. And so a bunch of big index-weighted names all got to their high of the day simultaneously. And sometimes that's what happens. I don't think there's any news specifically that just dropped here. I think it was a rejection, technically speaking. I'm in Rivian to the short side, but this is, all it's giving you is like 10, 15 cents. So I might have to just get out of this. If we get a flush to 19, great, but there's no point reloading this if it's not going to move for me. And I do see a couple of names in the chat you guys are pointing out there in the small cap space, beyond that Clover. The one that I think got away that might be more interesting with only 40 minutes to go is CVNA. That was that $10 break. It's essentially holding VWAP here above 10, so there might be a quick little sort of cheeky trade right in front of VWAP in this consolidation. I wanted shorts a little bit higher. I was saying into the 70 range. It got up to 10.50. It never actually got any lower than that. But I think risking about 10 cents if I can off the 10 level makes some sense for a bit of a scalp trade with 40 minutes to go here. So I'm going to get on the bid of Carvana. I didn't end up taking that 10 break. Probably a good look for anyone that did. We were sort of going over it, and at the time, I just happened to like that MGAM any better, MGAM. Those have been a little bit hotter. That one didn't work out. So I don't want to be trading usually 2 of these at the same time. Now I'm going to look for Carvana here. I think risk to reward, risking 10 pennies is about right because it's got resistance probably up in the 30 to 50 range.
All right, we just tweeted this out, and yeah, we're going to stand by it right now. And I said, oh, shoot, we just got Apple long. I said, I guess that was a good out right there. Well, how am I even long Apple right now? Didn't even realize we had an offer out, or a bid out there for Apple. Oh, man, that's going to suck. Right now, we're long at 56. Let's just take a piece out right now at 46. We do not mean to be long Apple right now. So let's just get it out and, like, lick our wounds a little bit here on that. That must have been, oh, that was the cover. Okay, so it was to cover some of these shorts that we had right there back at 50, but now it's come back up, so that's okay. Right now, we're still out of the money. That sucks. To give a little bit back there on Apple sucks. That's okay. We did not mean to be long, so whenever you're in a mistake position like that, you just do what I'm doing right now and offer out, so you don't have to worry about anything. So now we are out of that one. As this is what I was going to go over. Looky, Microsoft. I mean, you want to talk about Intel being a name that you like to trade. Hey, I mean, Microsoft, like I said, I think could be the #1 stock here for myself on the show for sure. Softy, I feel like it's been AMD as of late, but Microsoft, you guys know we love ourselves some Mr. Softy, and there it is right now. Look at this move. I mean, if you're only going to do anything, let's bang that one out right here for Microsoft on the downside of things, as there it goes. Breaking lower, Microsoft, thank you so much. That was a good little breakdown there on Microsoft down to the downside as we are now, look, it's only 30, 40 cents in the money. I just tweeted this out as well on Meta, and that was a good out. Like, that's why these 50 periods are here, man. I mean, I don't know what else to do other than look at the lines. That's why I've studied all these 22 years of experience. We're trying to find out, and I've just added some of these. I know Luca, I know Neil, some of these traders, we're all adding things based on what we see from each other, right? Like, if there's Neil's looking at Fibonacci's a little bit now, we're discussing some of that. I haven't added it to my portfolio or my toolbox yet, but that's something else, right? Like, learn from all of this. We studied the 50 period, and the reason why I really liked the 50 period on a daily chart right there when we had Mark Roberts on and so on and so forth. And then now, yeah, I was talking to him about it. He's like, yeah, that's a great indicator. So I was like, let me just use this for stocks as well. So I'm using that for equity on the 1 minute chart. You can see it was good for Microsoft as well. It's all going to look good when it breaks down. But that's just something to look out for there. Always add stuff to your toolbox. You never know, you know, what's going to work, what and when. And like we just mentioned, a lot of us have had bad Januaries. A lot of us had good Januaries. No matter what the market shows you, your strategy can win. It just, you know, some markets aren't great for certain styles. Other markets are good for certain styles. So, you know, trade your book, keep positive, and keep on Trader TV Live.
Yeah, just one note on the Fibonacci thing. I'm really still mostly testing it, and specifically on like gappers. So I look at morning gappers, and oftentimes, like look at CVNA yesterday, and I use it really as an opportunity. I happen to be in CVNA right now. That's kind of why it came to mind. But just looking for places to take profit. I don't use it for entry points, but it's like if I'm in the money on a long, then you want to let it go. Well, make decisions at key points, some retracements to get out. And I just find it's like, well, if it doesn't hold this level, then I can get some out, that kind of a thing with the fibs. At the end of the day, I tested it for a bit. And I was like, okay, it was pretty successful in terms of saving me some money when things would start to pull back in a little bit too far. Speaking of Carvana, I am in it now off of VWAP. We'll see if it can hold. Meta doesn't want to see 140, 148 it doesn't seem. So that's kind of frustrating. It's actually bouncing off VWAP itself. Maybe we don't see 148. Might just have to take a, this is so similar to Carvana. It's basically the same thing right now. 148 quarter for a scalp trade could make some sense. But the market looks too weak to compromise on price. I don't like compromising on price when the market is weak. Just a quick update, VWAP broke on GM. I'm out of GM. I don't think I'm gonna take another trade in the stock. It wasn't moving anyways. It was great, and it was essentially an easy long, but that long is done as far as I'm concerned, like a lot of other things in this market. So we'll take the win on it. I would never trade it unless it was earnings. That's the reason we're ringing the register on it. That's not a stock that we're ever gonna get into outside of that. Come on, Carvana, give me a little bit of a bounce here. It's doing absolutely nothing off VWAP. That's really annoying. And I'm going back to what I like, and that's shorting Intel. If the market's going to pull back here, someone just mentioned a good point that, you know, they do go ex-div next week. Maybe that's why it's a little bit strong. If the market rolls over here, I think you just failed to break out. I know because I was in it. and I like that 209 to the short side, 2809 to the short side. I'm going to actually move to a reverse model gateway so that I will pay to get the fill passively and hopefully get the fill. Or maybe I'll even go in the midpoint.
If you ever need any lessons on rebates or anything, Neil, I can help you out with that one as well. So, you know, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm here for you too, Brad.
I definitely need to get refreshed on it.
Okay, good. Yeah, me too.
I
think I need to as well. All right. I know Neil said that he was very specific on his price, and I think you don't want to compromise for sure. But I am compromising, Softy, right there. It's not really going down. I thought we could get some more, so we did get a 17 fill there. That's my birthday date, so that's why we put it right there. That was random, of course. And then right now, I just noticed it wasn't breaking, so we took a 26 fill there again. So our first fill was 32. You saw me beg for that one. That came through. And then our next fill right there, 17 and then 26. So I was waiting for Microsoft to really break down and get into this area. So that's where my next bid is. I mean, sometimes, you know, you need to let these things breathe a little bit. So we're going to do that with Microsoft here heading into the close. It's 3:24. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching the show again. If you can hit the like button, if you haven't yet, that'll be fantastic. Let's do a quick little look here. So we have 5,300 people watching, 757 likes. So pretty shitty ratio, if you ask me. But hey, don't hit it if you don't want to. Please do if you can. But no matter what, hit subscribe, man. We just passed 375,000 subscribers, and we're pretty proud of that. So if you can hit the like button, do that for us, and to subscribe and become a member of Trader TV Live. It's completely for free. There it is right there. Thank you so much. We'll say "Oh Canada" to our Canadian friends out there as well, as we just went 50% more likes on that ask. So thank you so much as you guys slap that. Thank you for that. Means a lot to all of us as we try to get those like counts going up.
Yes, sir. But I saw something in the chat that is Phil McCracken. AMC will run after hours. This is not happening, by the way, buddy. If I am wrong, Neil Roberts will lead another chip challenge. I'm not gonna, like, you make a call, and then if you're wrong, I have to eat the chip?
That's right.
How in the hell does that even work, dude? That's just, it's not going to happen. However, I said this morning, and AMC and APE are converging. And there's an obvious sort of hedge trade that's going on right now where it's like short AMC and go long in APE. And I'm not the only person saying it. Literally, Jim Chanos was on, like, I think it was like Fast Money or whatever heck program that they have over there, saying basically the same thing. If they're going to end up at the same value, then there's a long way for that to go. So I don't know, like, if you like the long in these, it makes way more fundamental sense to be long APE than it does AMC. I can't, if you want the long in either of these two names, I don't understand why you'd be long AMC. That makes zero sense to me when APE at least gives you that hedge idea. So that's my 2 cents there. And it doesn't mean AMC can't go up. It's just, to me, it's baffling why, if you like the long, you wouldn't just go over to APE. If the vote goes through, well, it's basically the same thing. If AMC goes higher, that means APE just has to go further to catch it. I do have curve on it. Looks like it doesn't want to hold VWAP in here. I have a $10 stop, so I'm risking a little bit more than the 10 cents I said. I have a 12 long here. I just like those twos a little bit too much. I'm not reloading on Rivian, I don't think, but I did jump back into Intel. And listen to your gut. We always talk about that, and it's like, listen to your gut. And I talked myself into it, and you kind of heard me go through how I didn't really like reverse it. Maybe I will reverse it for a small amount. No, it's like, if you're not long, then you see that wick top, and I might have been short at a much better price. That's the best way to think about it. If I didn't take that reversal long breaking the high, I'm probably short somewhere in here, like 4 or 5 cents better. And then suddenly when it goes down to like 4s, instead of taking like a 5-cent win on Intel, I'm taking 10 on Intel. And it matters, like that kind of a thing matters. So, you know, that's kind of a mistake that I just made there. I should have just stuck with only shorting this name. I did not, and we'll try to rectify as the market continues to pull back to said downside.
Oh, you want to call for Brendan? Is that what that was? Okay, 36, so that's an alarm waiting to happen. What's up, Brendan?
Quickly, guys, this cannabis ETF just popping up here. I'm realizing, though, this looks a lot bigger than it actually is. Yes, there's a huge volume spike here, but this thing's done nothing all day long, so just be aware. Some cannabis action late in the day.
If you log out and back in, you'll be fine there. Yeah, we missed that. What was that? Can we go back to Brendan for a second there? Because we were having some difficulties here on our system.
Everything
Brendan. Okay, let's go back over and look at some weed stocks, I guess, here. I apologize for that. We were just trying to, I guess, configure the platform right here for us. So, okay, yeah, weed stocks. All right, Microsoft just bounced off 246. That's enough for me. I'm going to go over to weed in a second to have a look. I just want to get that bid out there. It just bounced off it. We were waiting lower. I'm going to cancel that bid in the 80s now and just take a 246. It literally bounced right off that 246. We're going to reward ourselves for this. Right now, Lucid, we got a 50. We got a couple 51 fills there. Did we get a 50 as well? We might have got a 50 there. I'll check that in a minute, but let's go over quickly. Weed. It's not weed, that's in the Canada. Let's go over to CGC is the name that we're looking for here as we're gonna figure it out. Yeah, Snapchat's gonna be a big report. Huh? You know, Rob came over to me and goes, what does barcoding mean? And I maybe I should send him this. This is what we call barcoding right now on weed. So again, I apologize, missed what that talk was there, but obviously you can see some of these cannabis names not doing much today. Let's check out Tilray as well. So that one could be flying. Remember, you never want to trade these names. Yeah, it looks like nothing. You never want to trade these names until they reach some like peaks or valleys. So this is going to get down here to 250, 260. At the same thing, 455. So I would wait on that one. All right, Microsoft's not really coming down. Oh, what I want to go over was Snapchat there. I heard the dudes on the midday show talking about the implied volatility. What? Neither one's here, I don't think, right now. I was wondering what that website was because Snapchat, I don't know if this is correct. You guys tell me right now in the chat if this was. I thought Luca had found out on the website that the implied move for Snapchat was like 19% or something like that. Like,
squeeze me?
That's not a huge move, but it seems bigger than I thought it would have been. I mean, I guess, 10% is $1.50. So what, they're talking $3 of a move is what's implied? I'm not sure. Now I can't put it like this. I'm not sure if that's the case because that bottom here is 850. We're at 1150 now, so it's either saying it's going back down to 850 or up to like $13 or $14. Implied move is 250. Okay, so that's right. All right, so wow, I think we'll be trading some Snapchat tomorrow, guys. If that implied move is 250, first of all, can you guys let me know what website that is? Because I think there it is. Oh, Prad sent it. Okay, there it is. Tools.options. Okay, so we'll get that. Thank you for that, Prad. Just because, hey, look, AFD's coming through. There's going to be a lot of different names here with that. So thanks, Prad. I'm going to check that out. And before we go over to Brendan, just because he's going to cover something else, the imbalance is $930 million to buy. So that's notional, $1 billion to buy. Pretty key there, as of course I hold two shorts. All right, Brendo, over there at the big desk. Let's wrap this up. A half hour left.
Right. Let's work.
Hey guys, 30 minutes to go before we get into some of those earnings coming up after the close tonight. As always, guys, make sure you do take a second, hit the like and subscribe if you haven't done so far today. Small Cap brought to you by Trade Ideas, comprehensive stock scanner used by active traders to quickly and efficiently identify trading opportunities every single day, including all of us in this building, featuring powerful tools like the innovative stock races to quickly identify and act on potential trades. Check out the link below for 20% off on Trade Ideas. Let's go. Small Cap, this isn't going to age well, I warn you. But, I mean, it was a decent idea anyway, so it was in the right direction. I was talking about this in the pre-market this morning. MSGM, 650-ish, depending on where you look. Share float was long all morning versus, it's kind of hard to see now, but versus that support area from early on, which was $7. So, yeah, my average, guys, I'll say it, was about 750, 775. So there you go. Nice. It was about $2 to the upside for that one anyways. Not going to age well. Whatever. Carvana, downside. Broke that 11 right at the gate at the open this morning and then faded that. Gave you a nice retest to get short. Tight risk above the top or high, I should say, of day. Comes back into that level. I was just looking at that level. Obviously, we don't know that this is going to happen. So just using that as my out on the way back down for CVNA. So now it looks like a few of the other ones are going as well. Tilray, CGC, as you guys mentioned, but MSOS is that weed ETF, guys.
The weed ETF.
So just a bit of a thank you to Sean for covering there, because I had to log out and back in and sort of reset my system to solve something, which it did, so I can come back in. You know what? Carvana didn't stop me out. However, I did have a stop at 10. I would never log out while in position without stops to cover myself. I just was able to get some out there at 20. If this market decides that we're just going to continue to flush, well, I'll be happy that it held my stop, and I was able to get something for a winner there. Normally, I would have held this to 30s and 40s and 50s, but not with the market looking weak. If it goes there now, I'll get a little more aggressive getting out. We also only have 15 minutes till the imbalances come out, so that's at least a little bit of a concern. I am trying to reload Intel. Did I get it? I don't think I got it. I am trying to reload Intel in front of that 28.10. I was able to get some right in front of 28 even. Short their 9s. I ended up getting like 3s, I think. And then if it breaks 28 on the way to VWAP, we'll get some more bids out there. If the market flushes, I think we'll be okay. Should have just only shorted this in the first place. That's the way I look at it. But hey, we're here to show you like both the winners and losers and the reasons for the decisions and sort of the learning process, that I go through. Like stick with your gut, I think was what I was saying there. There wasn't enough strength in the chips to reverse it into the long. Everything else was holding the highs. Why would I want to break out an Intel when nothing else was showing strength? So that was why I was talking myself out of it. Then I did it anyways. Maybe not a good idea. Listen to your gut. Listen to your gut, especially when you have a good gut on those. I'm going to bite because you said the cannabis names, just because I haven't looked at this in a while. Nowhere Tilray's not doing anything. Okay, never mind.
We looked at them.
Oh, you guys... Well, I was logged in?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. It was a story MSOS. It was the ETF there that Brendo
I thought
brought
maybe
us.
this was a bit stronger than...
No.
Yeah, only went like 10 cents.
That was that story about the barcoding there. Okay, so just real quick, guys, as if you're noticing right here, I have out, well, and you're just noticing for the first time. So here it is right here. I don't know if you guys can see this. Maybe if I zoom in a little bit more, it looks like I got an update to happen. There it is, 18.2% for Snapchat. So you guys are 100% right. Yep. That's what it is. This is tools.optionsai.com. So let's do this together here and just search for AMD. Thanks to Prad for this. Let's see what AMD's implied move is here into the close or into tomorrow. Oh, where it says earnings. I got to figure out how to do this. I've never done this before. We'll look at that. Anyways, good website, tools.optionsai. I'll find out where to do it. Again, Prad just said I got to go to earnings, so that's right here. We'll click on that, and there it is, 6.5% plus or minus. So again, not predicting like, hey, this is going to go up or down or anything like that. Just a plus or minus move there on their next earnings call. So implied in how they get this is by adding up all the forward futures and figuring out the put call ratios and so on and so forth. I'm sure there's an explanation on here. What does this mean, implied? Oh, implied volatility, okay, history. That's where the paywall is. Okay.
Yeah, it's if you want to see the past.
Right, okay. And you see
Which
as a
makes sense.
trader, that's the stuff I want to look at. There we go. As a trader, that's the stuff I want to look at. So, of course, there's the paywall. All right, thanks. Are we still okay?
We're good.
We're okay. We just faded to black there. I don't know if you saw that, Neil, but we're good to go.
That.
Thanks, Prad, for fixing that real quick. All right. So as we go, I don't know why my charts didn't change, but there's Lucid. Oh, wow. Okay. Right back to 50. So we are bidding 50s. Hopefully we'll get a 50 bid here for Lucid. Hey, man, we're short 63. You might be like, 63? Like this guy's happy for a 13-cent win? Hell yeah, we're happy because when we put this in our pocket, we're pretty happy. So it's a nice little move here for this name. Let's just see if it continues to work. I don't know. Let's see if it does, right? Lucid to the downside. What's going to happen when we break 50? I think lower. That's not rocket science, but there it is, 50. Then we look at this. My bid was at, there we go. My bid's at 47. There it is. So, okay, so we just get filled there. Tons of prints going off at 50. We actually sat on a gateway that we had to pay for because we didn't want to line up behind any of these. However, ARCA is one that I use all the time. That's printing, so you can get out. T's are also NASDAQ gateway, so you can print on that as well. As that's starting to move down, we now have a 47 bid, and then after that, see ya. But that's a good trade for us. We'll go bang on that one for Lucid. Good trade. What may be a bad trade is the reload right now in Microsoft. So we're only going to give this one to 60. It's starting to go back up. We just took another fill right here at 50. We're out at 60, so very close to being stopped out here on Softy as it's retracing all the way back up. Let's just do a pulse check here for Meta.
How's it doing?
Yeah, it's fine.
That's okay.
Bouncing off 148, so again, a good little level. Like, just mark these levels down, man. I mean, there's 148 right there. So when I put out the sticky note every day for free in the morning, this is what I look at. What levels held? Where did we go intraday here? And what levels are holding? So on Microsoft, we had a super wicked hold at 246. We're putting that in our pipe and smoking that tomorrow. And then Meta today as well. We'll notice that 148 just held pretty good on a dip back down, just like it didn't want to break 149 too good. 148 also holding out there. So we just got stopped out of Microsoft. Microsoft green on the day, but fail on the upside.
Again.
Go ahead. Yep.
Oh, I was looking to say, like, things are bouncing back to the upside. I know that because I got reloaded on Intel short, and then Carvana bounced off VWAP. I just got some out in front of 30. I'll take some out in front of 40. So, I'm in 10-10 and then taking 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. How very creative of me with a stop at 10 even. That's not very creative, but it's easy to remember. And it's easy to execute because you know exactly where you're wrong. I'm reloading Intel. I don't know how much it's going to flush at this particular point. The market is showing signs of strength. We got a 930 million to buy look going on here, the early indication, and we're right up on those highs. Like if it does that thing where we're indicating a buy imbalance and it comes out of sell, that would be an interesting time for it to do it, back up and rejecting the morning highs or yesterday's highs on the NASDAQ. So I want to keep an eye on that. If it comes out to the sell side, all the major tech names, I almost think, hold on to the Intel, obviously, and maybe look for a Q's short. But that's a 350 trade. We have 10 minutes for that to go. I'm going to tighten up my stop on Carvana. I'm going to go just break even on this. It's running out of steam, the volume. See how the volume sort of tapering off there going into the close? It's not picking up, it's falling to the downside. And if it's falling to the downside, I don't want to turn a winning trade into a losing trade. So I'm going to tighten up the stop. I'll risk 5 cents instead of 10 to 15, as I think this one might be coming right back in here. If it pops, great. I'm just not sure that's going to happen. I see Tilray is not halted. Tilray, what is halt open?
No, they're joking you again.
Okay, it's not.
I just looked at it. It's not halted.
No.
So we looks like we'll throw ourselves down the toilet a little bit here because we just talked about how much we like that softy trade, but look what just happened to it. It just came right back down. So we just got out at 60. I mean, I'm upset, and we just threw away 10 cents. Not the end of the world on that one, but also Lucid, it's 340 right now, so I don't know if we'll get into any more positions. I will if there's a move somewhere that we could take advantage of. For right now, I'm not really seeing too many moves that we could possibly take advantage of. So, all right, cancel, replace, cancel, cancel off. All right, so I just making sure that if it comes back down here to 50, we do have another bid that we can get out of there. So we'll watch out for that trade here on Lucid, back down to 50. We got that fill. You saw it was printed everything. So there it is right there. We'll see what's happening with Lucid back down near 50. I just want to check out on our PayPal, get the temperature of that. That was a good one, breaking through 82. We got one long, then we bought it again, then we dumped it out right there. So whoever did short that, congratulations. That was the right call there on that short. Other than that, man, I mean, again, what a good day it's been, I feel like. A lot of good opportunities to trade. AI, damn it, I knew that. As soon as I did that, I thought it was New York. Here's another name that I know a lot of you have been trading lately, bouncing off that $20 marker. Oh, one trade before we go.
Alibaba's breaking down, by the way.
Alibaba breaking down, okay. Should have had that short at 120. I know it's nowhere near there now. I just wanted to go back because Tilray. So I know you guys are talking Tilray. I know they passed, well, Brendan brought the news of the cannabis bill there. And I just want to go over this on the 20-minute. See, I'm not going long until this breaks. So I have the order in. It's got to break these highs, man. Like, look, it went right back to 28. And even if you break 30, you still don't have too much runway. So, yeah, let's wait to see what happens here with Tilray. But for now, 330 has to break, and then I'm long.
So I just saw, like, Alibaba broke 110 a bit ago, like not a while ago, but just a couple of minutes ago, it broke that 110 level. It's rolling over. You can see here, this is like 110.30. It's not quite a flat. The flat bottom break was right here at 110.30 or 110.25, but this has room. There's major support at 108 on the higher time frame. I know that without looking because I wrote that down on my iPad this morning, thinking it'd be a long at 108. So there's plenty of room for this to come back in. The market just made a bit of a bounce to try and retrace the highs, and this continued to flush. So I'm going to join in on the short here. But because I'm short in front of 10s, I'm giving it to 110. And if it pops, I probably don't want it anyways. If I think this is like a straight shot and just a flush down into 9s and then 8s as one of those late day capitulations, then it bouncing to VWAP to me doesn't validate that trade. So I'm here at 85. Well, I'm in at 85 with a stop at the even on Alibaba. No real plans to add to it, but just to see how far it can go. We have 7 minutes till the imbalances come out there, and I think it's still indicating a bit of a buy imbalance. So we'll see if that's the case. I don't think it matters too much. It's almost more interesting. I would say it's almost more interesting if it goes from a decent buy imbalance to a sell imbalance than if it just comes out of the billion that we're expecting to see here, because the market has shown zero willingness to take out the top and actually follow through. So at this point, with it being Fed Day tomorrow, I'm kind of feeling like it's not going to happen anyways. I'm only long Carvana, which doesn't care what the market's doing, so I suppose that's baked in.
Yeah, Brendan just gave no change there, so no change on that one. As we'll wait for Tilray to come through. Be patient if it does come in. If it doesn't, then it's all good.
Stay off the
and we'll wait to that. Yeah, stay off of it or have more of it. Right now, Palantir, a big day, man, today for Palantir, and it's been a big run for them. A lot of people are into data now all of a sudden. What a surprise. Imagine Palantir tomorrow just goes, oh yeah, FYI, we have a lot of AI. You know, that's all they have to do, release this. This thing goes to $10 probably. So let's watch out for Palantir right now. They can easily drop any of that at any time, man. You know, they have contracts everywhere, through every major government, you know, pretty much has a contract with. You don't believe me? I mean, just look it up, man. Israel, US, Canada, border, immigration, military, defense, everything. Palantir's involved there. I am a shareholder, but I'm a shareholder of all these stocks. Like right now, actually, I don't hold Lucid, but you know, there are lots of upside here for Palantir and for Snowflake. So watch out for some of these names as they've been getting really off the bottom here in the last little while. There's that 6 up to 8. We'll see if it takes 8 out tomorrow with only 5 minutes left to go. We did get a bid there at 51. It didn't, you know, I put a bid there. We got hit. Let's see if it comes into 50 as well. So that could be something to come through on later on right now for this. Roblox. Still up here. Actually fell back down a little bit. Roblox again. We took down. That would have been a short right there on the 200 period. Missed it. That was a break of 37. It would have given you a little bit of room there for Roblox. Let's check out AMD, which was your trade of the day. And AMD, so my number 1 stock today is AMD. My number 2 stock is Roblox. Scratch that. My number 1 stock today is Meta. My number 2 stock is AMD. My number 3 stock is Roblox, and they're all roughly the same, with Meta first. And then AMD, those two are pretty close to each other. Roblox is slightly behind on those names. But right here, AMD today, despite, like, it's my number 1 name and only having one idea. And that was the long early, right? So I just wanted to check back, you know, see the pulse of this name as it's 75 high. We do have them reporting. We just saw a 6.5% average expected move. So if you get 10%, that's $7. So this name's expected to move like, you know, 5, I guess 6.5 on 7. So you're about, I don't know, about $5 or so and moving around. So whether or not we get to 80 or back down to 70 is what we should expect here for AMD. So as it's moving around, another name here, Advanced Micro, looking to do something.
Yes, sir. And I moved my stop to break even on CVNA because it looked like it was getting a little bit weak. I was going to go to BABA, but instead of allowing it to get back into 10 even, I'm just going to take it out break even. Felt weak to me. Sometimes you go with a gut, but then remember, we have to be out of our positions at the end of the day. So if it's not accelerating as it goes higher and volume's not increasing, well, there's no need for me to give it more time to work. It's only got a couple of minutes anyways, and it looks like it was a good out. And if you do that, then you just sort of save yourself an extra 10 pennies. Alibaba, yeah, it's falling, but it's not really, like, it's not falling all over itself. So I just popped on the bid in front of 109.50. I'm going to have Intel short. If it does flip from a buy imbalance to a sell imbalance, I'll have a stop at the high of the day. Tech names tend to go to the downside together if it flips to a market short, and then I'll have Alibaba. That's going to be it in terms of positions for me. Unless something crazy happens right at 350, I don't want to jump into anything just new there. And oh yeah, I see, like, I totally forgot about this. XOM 116. So should have had this break. Should have had this break. 116 was someone in the morning. Someone was saying, look at the 115 level on X1. I was like, no, 116. On Friday, we closed at that 116 lower resistance. I like that level. It pressed through 15. It gave you $1 twice, and then a late breakout through 116 here. I'm pretty sure Luca was on that level as well. Good levels are good for reverses sometimes, and this is at least strong. Right, like it's been strong all day long since the open. So taking out the top, probably a better trade there. Don't have it, but got to that one late. It was a good rinse and repeat. Probably could have even had that one at 130 just before we came back on there. And this is great on the daily chart as well, because it's back above that 115. Maybe this is the press into 120 that I was looking for a couple of days ago.
The full court press. Let's get that full court press on here. As I see the
All
Knicks
day.
and the Suns interested in OG Anunoby right now from the
Raps
Raptors.
don't have a choice. They got to make a move.
They have to. We still have, he has two more
have
years
to.
on his deal, so
They have to trade him
I think we should. I mean, we would trade Fred, I guess, if we had a choice, whether him versus OG, because Fred is up. Van Vliet right now. Okay.
I love Fred. I mean, I love the
Yeah, I mean, I love all the Raptors, but yeah, at some point you got to sort of cut the cord there and regroup a little bit. So I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah, they are. That's where Fahad is right now. He's actually because there's a potential trade. He's going to go on a one-way contract where once he gets called up, he can't be sent back down. You know, because like he's giving up this job. You know, like it's got to be a guaranteed contract for Fahad. So I mean,
you don't even want to know the trash talk Fahad was doing today about basketball. I don't even want to get into it because it was just some ridiculous stuff.
Not only is he, we just learned this too.
He's like
not only is he one of the best dribblers, like
he's
he has the best
defender.
handles. He's also one of the best defenders in the world.
Yes, and Fahad is on our. Fahad runs the 1s and 2s over there with Prad.
I think the Raptors
on our
would
production
be,
crew,
yeah.
which you know, if you're that good, you'd be in the NBA, brother.
I
But,
think the Raptors. That's why they're signing him.
Yeah, he is going to be the captain of our. We're entering a couple of charity tournaments this summer. Well, one of them's in March and one of them's in the summer. Bay Street Hoops is in June, but there's one coming up in March, and Fahad is going to debut for us there. It's all for good fun, but he'll probably get smoked. Brendo.
Little one just popping up. CVT Covenant, or sorry, Cvent is an event planning software company. Some bio chatter just popping up on this one. CVT, guys, halted right now.
All right, the imbalances are out right now. So, yeah, sorry about that one. We just go from Brendan right over to here as the imbalances are starting to come out now. So you could see on your screen, I don't know what the hell this number is, like $10 trillion to buy. Like everything is a bid here, and it is absolutely insane.
It's
Look
the end
at
of the month.
Apple. Look at Apple go to the upside. Yes, it's the end of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Get out of your shorts.
It is not the first of the month. Look at this moving upside. Look at this market. Wow. A big time movement here in this market to end the day. Monster move up. The market's going to take out the day's high. Look at Apple, man, going nuts right now. I don't know any of these other names, but Ford on the sell side, that's going up too, man. Ford says, who cares about that? Visa's on here. I don't know, man. I guess it's just Apple leading the way. It looks like Uncle Warren is back in Apple right now.
Did you see the number?
No.
7.2 billion to buy on the imbalances. So I punched the heck out of Intel. I didn't even wait to see what Intel was. Who cares? 7.2 billion shares to buy. It is the end of the month, and it's been a big month, obviously, for the markets, but just about everything into the upside. That's like what I should be looking at for you guys is the Qs, because as Sean pointed out, like you take your pick. There's not many sells in there. Ford's a sell, so that's the only big name I can see. But this is what just happened in the Qs, not a move that I particularly would want to chase because you're at those highs. I was kind of not hoping the market goes down, but the trade to me would have been it looked like it was going to be a buy, it reverses to a sell, and you short the tops because you know where you're out. Buying the top here, I'm skeptical that are we really going to get a follow through the high of the day? But that's a massive, massive number. But you're right up at those tops that we've been unable to break all day long. Can we actually punch through? I don't want to chase it with 6 or 7 minutes left as a day trader. And then you have Fed tomorrow, which is another reason people might be a little bit timid buying these highs.
Yeah, for sure.
It feels like it's a trap.
Yeah, I mean,
it feels like it.
I mean, well, we've been talking about sort of the market, you know, getting to the upside. I just did that little, showed you guys the NASDAQ about a half hour ago and sort of the upside trajectory that's been having all month and for the last little while. And that's where we talked about Dan making money on the short. We're making money everywhere. Just about trading your style. But right there into the close, I don't know, man, AMD, I mean, what does this mean for what earnings are going to be coming out tomorrow? Probably nothing. It is the end of the month, so it doesn't, maybe people are just sort of window dressing here into the end of the month, which would be that trap sort of thinking there. So I don't mind that as a thought. I don't know if it's true or not. We just got another piece out on Lucid there at 52. Obviously, as this goes up to the upside, the market, Lucid is going to follow it. But hey, we made a good amount of money there. Lucid actually moving up our ranks as well on our best stocks today to trade. So there it is, man, into the close. What a violent move, to say the least, there into today. So I don't know any of these other names, HPE, TDS, I don't know any of this stuff to see what's going on with these names. But yeah, nothing here. I don't know. It's probably nothing on any of these. Flow.
Look at Pfizer
I don't know what
today.
that's doing. Is that a buyout, maybe, Flow? I don't know.
Nothing
Nah, it's still going upside right here as well. So yeah, just a lot of action here. Apple still leading the way, man. Still trying to get to that 144 level where we shorted it, or where we got out, of our long, all the way back. Apple straight up 90 cents on that imbalance, guys.
Yeah, I mean, everything is popping. BABA popped up there. I mean, SI made a bit of a move. Of course, SI stops me out now, wants to go back to the upside. But that's what happens when the market does this. 7.2 million to buy. The rising tide lifts all ships. And I mean, BABA, that's not much of a move in the greater context of things, but it did reject that 110 level. I mean, I was just looking at Pfizer. I mean, Pfizer opened the day getting smoked on earnings. And now you're not only at the high of the day, you've broken through, gone green on the day, you're actually testing yesterday's top. So that is one heck of a reversal on a name like Pfizer, but the entire market. This could have just found, I feel like Pfizer just found a temporary bottom here, because if you look at the daily chart, that's going to be a higher low. This could be good to watch tomorrow going into Fed. Found support at 43. It's got 10% before it even sees the 50. The 200 period 50 and the 200 period moving averages. So if it does catch a little bit of a trend back up, I'm not even sure it's a short till it gets to 49.50. That's one that's going to be on my watch after what a great little bit of earnings that it just had there. So, I mean, reaction to earnings, I should say. The earnings were not great. The reactions to earnings were pretty good. I'm not taking anything new at this point. We've now broken the high of the day. You've got to be kidding me. It's frustrating. I was looking for the short trade on a sell imbalance. If it flipped, it goes buy side. I didn't want to punch the tops. We're now through the high of the day on the overall market. The Qs, which I was just showing you guys, only 5 minutes to go. It just wicked the top there. I don't like chasing moves. Like, maybe it runs higher, but if it rejects the high, you have 4 minutes for it to work. Now, if you're swinging it or something like that, or you want to hold it into tomorrow, that's your own thing. For us, we have to be flat, and that just means I can't put a top breakout trade on chasing a move like this, as much as it might work out in the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, no, I did short Apple. I actually shorted Apple up there on that move. I didn't even realize I got to fill. It was so chaotic there at 355, but it did come back in right now, so we're fine. We're just going to watch this. We're short right now at 01s. I was just going to give it up to that top wick, which is basically a 20 break. So if it breaks back up to the upside there for Apple, see, it's gone now. So, it's paired off a little bit, but the market is rallying. So I don't really know what that means here for this trade. But we're going to give that to that top side. So that's 20 cents, which means we need to at least make 20 cents. So let's put a bid down here, near the 80 mark. I don't think Apple's just going. This is not a big trade. We don't give anything back here when this happens, but we are in it. So when we're in something, we got to sort of talk about it and go over it. So that's that last little Apple trade right now as we go short against that 144.20. That sort of top tick is where we are right now. I just sort of thought at 355 you get a floor update and the brokers will start to step in a little bit. We've seen it reverse out, but that $7.5 billion number, I don't remember, Neil, the last time we saw something that high. So
I can't. It's been a while.
It's been a while, needless to say. So let's take advantage of that. And I don't know if we are taking advantage of it or not, but we're going to be short right here into the close. If it takes it out, it takes it out, and we'll just move on to tomorrow. So far, so good here. Lucid, of course, does pull back. We have to be flat in just a matter of seconds now, 3 minutes. So as this market pulls back in, we have to get out of the...
I just want to address a question.
Go ahead, yeah.
So I was just asking the chat, do I ever trade SOXS? I tend to not, as a day trader, when you're in a prop form, you trade firm capital, and you get a daily loss limit. So you have like a large amount of buying power. So trading direct equity or not having to go like 3x bull, I just try not to put that type of risk on. If you want to put more risk on, just trade it straight up and not worry about the over leveraged names, because I find there's a little bit of extra risk that's not necessary. However, as you can imagine, the 3x bear is having a rough day of it today. It's down 5% and breaking those lows. Oh, let's get to the earning board very quickly. I thought we have not done that just yet. Brendan?
Yeah, let's make it official, guys. We've talked about many of these, but here we go. Coming up tonight after the close and before the open tomorrow is earnings.
All right, I mean, we've gone over a lot of these names already there. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's going to be AMD is going to be a big one. We talked about this earlier.
Snapchat.
You know, Snapchat's big. We talked about some of those implied moves, 18% and 6%.
Peloton.
Peloton's another big name there as well, yeah.
Peloton's having a big week. It's been, look, this is, when a stock like that with the short interest that it does has a strong week, it definitely sets it up for an interesting day trade. Come on, hit enter a few times. Now you don't want to load Peloton. My daily wants to load here. My 15 minute always loads fine. This 13 level has been an absolute line in the sand and a wall. If this squeezes above there on any kind of a good number, I think Peloton has room to fly. I wanted to show you the daily, but it doesn't seem to want to go there. But there's room for this one to go. I can't anticipate a quiet day on Peloton tomorrow. I just hope that it's not. I hope it gives a reasonable enough gap in the morning that, well, when it comes out in the morning, that we're able to actually take a trade. I'm not just saying it's gone so far that all I can do is fade it or buy a dip. I'd rather be able to join a move. So that means go less than 10% initially, Peloton. That's my ask.
Wow. Monster move. I mean, look at AMD still climbing here to the upside, 75, taking out day's high right now, up 3.5%. This is into the move tomorrow, and of course the move is earnings. We're going to wait to see where it goes, but big, huge move upside right now for AMD into the close. I don't know if they had an imbalance or not, but it's a nice move upside right now. So yeah, man, we're really excited about everything that's been happening here today. Thanks for watching. Here it goes, man. 75.09 now and still going. So with only 30 seconds left, we need to get this bell going here. I don't know who's going to drop it, what's going to happen right now. But okay, we don't have anybody.
Throwing something at it again?
We don't have anybody once again, so.
You want to do the countdown? No, we got Fahad.
Fahad's going to ring it here.
I was about to get up myself, but no, it's fine. It's fine. I'll let you do it, Fahad. So Fahad, the greatest defender in, well, the world when it comes to basketball.
In the history of the world.
And the best bell ringer in 2 and 1, Fahad. Are you?
He's checking it out. He's checking it out. So for all you ladies, if you're really impressed with what you just saw there from Fahad, you can send an email into marketing@tradertv.live.
Why are you dignifying this?
What?
Don't give him that moment, man.
You
You're
know.
encouraging him at this point.
Yes, I am. It's called good television, my guy. You know what I mean? I mean, Fahad's a man of the people. He's giving people what they want. They want entertainment. He's here to entertain.
And he gave me an apple fritter today.
And he got you an apple fritter
as far as he
on the house.
He can do no wrong.
There we go. There we go. See, there's the love of my life. So you already got a fan right here. Thanks, Michelle, for that. I'll pass that on as we go. But there it is. Fahad, not only...
He doesn't have an OnlyFans yet, though. Not yet.
Doesn't he? Maybe he does. We don't know. This has not been confirmed or denied. And then also the fact that, you know, he won the Spicy Chip Challenge. He's an amazing free throw shooter. We could go on and on, literally. Defender of the world. He can squat the most of everybody. He could dummy a rune in an arm wrestle. If he grew a beard, he'd have the best. Well, he has a beard.
No, he has
the best beard here.
Oh, he did say he'd mash up a rune.
Yep.
Oh, and get this. He says he could take me in a race, which, by the way.
Oh, yeah, the race. He's the fastest guy here as well.
I'm not letting that one stand. So when the weather gets nice, yeah, we'll see what's up. I'm just going to leave it there.
All right. Let's go over to Brennan and figure out how we wound up a day ahead of Fed.
Just noting, guys, Snap 410. Is scheduled anyways for 410, so we might have to wait a while. But yeah, let's get a check of the market here as we wait for some numbers to come through. 1.3 for the S&P, the Dow 0.8. Great day right across the board. 1.5 for the NASDAQ heading into what is to come tomorrow. It's been a while, but everything positive on here.
Like 9. So obviously the market's going to be strong, but Snapchat. It's up a lot going into the earnings already. Just in the last week, it's 950 to 1150. So this will be a big one. I don't think we're actually, we'll leave it on here just in case in the next minute or so it comes out, but I don't think we're expecting it for at least a couple of minutes here,
I think
Sean.
you said
So,
410.
Yeah, you said 410, and it's not really doing any volume right now, so I think that's probably correct.
Yeah, I don't see AMD getting out or anything yet either, so we'll wait. AMD closes at 75, that's 74.80 right now. Yeah, if anything comes out soon, follow us on. Did I just hear AMD out? No, it's not out yet. Yeah, we're getting ready to rock and roll here, so let's wrap this up, man. It was a good day so far. I don't know, Brendan, if anything comes out, obviously, while we're doing this, we will talk about it. But, hey, thank you to Sharif today. Thank you to Luca one more time. Thanks, Brad. Glad he's feeling better. He's in the building. Thanks to Fahad as well for that flex there on all of us at the end. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, just thanks to Bears vs. Bulls. Thanks to the viewers. What a great show again today. Thanks for all your participation in the chat. Make sure you subscribe, like, all that jazz, because we're back tomorrow. Make sure you also sign up watchlist.tradertv.live. Brendan will put a lot of work into that.
Biggest day of the week tomorrow.
We'll get a lot of stuff going on right here for you, so make sure you check that out, and the sticky note will be out tomorrow. But hey, let's wrap this up so we can get to work and watch out for these earnings. Hey, for Neil, Brendan, I'm Sean. We're Trader TV Live. Make sure you join us tomorrow. Have a great evening. Ciao.